Radio Land. It's Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and you're listening to the 5 Dudes with Views podcast. They're my faves. This week, Billy, Brad, Brett, George, and Ted list their top 5 horror movie death scenes. Dog will hunt.
5 Dudes with Views. 5 Dudes with Views. 5 Dudes with Views. 5 Dudes with Views.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the 5 Dudes of Views podcast. This is going to be a fun one because it's Halloween time. Happy Halloween!
Blah, blah, blah.
Although, isn't Halloween canceled this year?
I think it is.
No, not for us and our listeners. No way.
I mean, Brad's rocking the Fangoria shirt. So,
Oh, you know it.
Oh, nice.
It's the Halloween episode, man.
Represent.
Yeah, this Halloween, we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite horror movie death scenes.
Yeah.
That was a mouthful. I'm surprised I got that out. Oh, that's what she said.
Hi-oh.
So, I mean, obviously, we're all horror fans. Some of us are bigger horror fans than others. But, I mean, when you think about this category, it covers a lot of territory. There's almost too many death scenes to go back and watch.
It is.
So many deaths over so many films.
Yeah.
I mean, just the 80s alone, all the Friday the 13th movies are enough death scenes to cover a whole podcast.
I'll say this episode probably will have my longest honorable mention list ever.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got a lot.
Okay.
So, obviously we've seen a lot of films and we know a lot about these death scenes. So, in your opinion, when you go see a horror movie, like, what do you want to see?
I mean, I don't, some people are like, I have to see an R-rated. It's got to be R to be good, which isn't true. I mean, Sixth Sense or other movies, like PG-13.
Thrillers,
wasn't Poltergeist PG-13? Like,
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't. R.
But don't get me wrong, dude. Like, slashers are definitely my favorite.
Yeah,
like the R-rated
easily.
gore, fun, and some of these movies.
Too much blood.
That's why. Yeah, that's why you watch them is to like
Exactly.
the Freddy and the Jason movies. It's the kill count. You want to see
true.
what new, like the Saw movies. You want to see what new inventive ways
Creativity. Yeah.
they're killing people.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends what mood I'm in, but yeah, I mean, if I want to like get grossed out, if I want to see some gore, then I'm gonna look for a movie that's known, a series that's known for.
Yeah, you want to shut your brain off, have a drink, and just have fun.
Exactly.
It's true.
And like a lot of good death scenes are in like the monster movies, so
Right.
usually a good monster movie is gonna have some pretty good deaths.
I like a
Which
good
member-
scare myself.
Which member of the podcast do you think that cricket's going to kill first?
Shit.
I think
Definitely,
it'll probably be
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, Brett.
Yeah, I'm closer to it.
So, well, in horror movies, there are certain rules, like never say you'll be back.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't have sex, because
Yes.
if you have sex,
Oh,
you're
man.
going to die.
Don't use drugs.
Don't use drugs or drink. Don't ever split up.
Don't be a jock. Like the jocks always get killed.
They basically say, as a rule, just avoid proms and all other high school parties.
Yeah.
Good point. And never fall asleep.
Yes. And always assume that your attacker is still alive.
Yes.
Yeah, stab him again.
And don't
Yeah,
drop the
exactly.
weapon
Yeah.
after you
Don't
think
just
you
stand
killed
over
him.
him.
Shoot him again in
Yes.
the head.
And then run.
don't turn your
look.
back.
Yeah, why do they always check to see if the person or the thing is breathing?
Or they decide to just sit there and watch him and then start talking. Oh my God.
Or they
Yeah.
they think they kill him and then they drop the weapon that they just thought they killed him
And then
with.
they sit there and just talk.
cry.
Yeah, it's like, just, dude, run.
So do you kind of feel like the 70s definitely was more of like a monster, like supernatural sort of religious kind of time for horror films, and then the 80s evolved into slashers, and then the 90s was kind of like maybe that torture porn kind of a thing.
I feel like torture porn
Yeah.
was more like 2000s, but
Yeah.
Like late 90s.
yeah, you're right though. I feel
Uh-huh.
like the 70s was more like drama based religion, and then 80s came like the slasher silly one-liner monster movies.
Yeah.
And then the 90s came to like the WB, Scream, Dawson Creek kind of you know, urban legend movies. There's some good stuff sprinkled in there, but I feel like there's a resurgence of horror right now, which is good.
I mean, horror. What was the movie that just came out that was like the #1 movie for like a month almost? It was like some low budget horror movie that came out.
The drive-in movie?
Yeah, I think it was a drive-in movie, but they filmed it for like $1 million or less, I want to say.
Really? I don't know. What is that?
It was like a real bootleg movie, but I mean, like horror always has a fan base.
Yeah,
people are loyal. They want to see new ways. I mean, at this point, though, are they running out of ways to kill people?
Never. I think you can always find a way, to kill someone probably.
To top the movies that have already been.
And I feel like if it's like a monster movie where the monster is unique or hasn't been seen before, then you're gonna have deaths that are unique and haven't been done before too.
I think are you talking about The Wretched, Billy?
I think so. Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Yeah, it's kind
What
of an
was it
indie
about?
movie that took off. Indie movie that took off.
What was it
you
about?
would think that, now that people were, quarantined and staying in the house, maybe they wouldn't want to watch a bunch of horror movies, but, maybe so. I mean, horror has its time and place. I mean, it's a very scary time out there.
Like I said earlier, I'm in the mood to watch a horror movie, so I want to sit down on the couch with my girlfriend and watch horror movies because they're fun, they're entertainment. So
sure,
if I'm in the mood for a horror movie, they can be almost as fun as watching a comedy. It's a different kind of fun, but it can be almost the same kind of entertainment that a comedy would give you, where you're you're having fun while watching it. Different kind of fun, but it's fun.
Do you want to know the plot for The Wretched?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the overall plot. Yeah.
A defiant teenage boy struggling with his parents' imminent divorce faces off with an old witch who has possessed the neighbor next door.
Oh wow.
Okay. I don't think I ever
It has
saw anything
a
about it.
skull, like a deer head or something, with a girl hiding behind it.
When you guys watch these horror movies multiple times, are you looking forward to the kill? Does it still kind of satisfy you in the way it originally did? Or if you've seen Halloween 5 times, you know what's going to happen, but is it still a satisfactory movie to watch?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for
for sure. I think it does. Just because if that one kill scene, that's how you remember the movie by, that's the one you're going to go, oh, wait, check it out, guys. This is the movie that such and such. Or if you're going to sit there, you wait for it and you're like, okay.
Yeah, you're waiting.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I feel like if it's done well, the tension doesn't get lost after
I
multiple
agree, yeah.
viewings. You'll still have that build up that gives you that kind of uneasy feeling where there's a lot of tension.
Yeah, to
in
build
the
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's down and dirty, kind of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They got a bunch of them. When I was doing my research, that one was the one where you were like, "Holy crap!" I remember. Remember that movie where it's just so raw and just it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think what also is fun is to if you see a movie that you really love, and let's say there's a good kill scene, and then you watch it with someone who hasn't seen it yet, and you're waiting for their reaction.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's so much. It's so much fun.
Yeah. I
Well,
agree.
let's get this party started.
Let's do it.
My number 5 is a movie that's a great movie. People may not think it's a horror movie. I feel like it is the horror genre, and it answers the question that we all want to know. What's in the box?
Clifford.
It's Clifford.
Oh shit.
It's 7. It's the final scene.
Yeah.
Well, there was a murder. A spoiler alert. That we do find out, and then there's another murder. Even though it's Kevin Spacey gets killed, he gets shot. But I mean, that's such a memorable death scene. Even though it's almost just you don't see the head, but it's just it's explained.
It's implied that
but
it's in the box, and it
you see the hair.
grabs you, man.
I think you see the hair kind of sticking to the top of the lid.
Wisping.
Yeah. It's
Don't-
such an effective scene, man. Everybody walked out of that movie the same expression on their face. It was just it took all the air out of the room. It's such a satisfying moment. It's great.
John Doe's got the upper hand.
Oh, shit.
John Doe's got the upper hand.
Hey, is Morgan Freeman here?
Oh shit!
Wow.
I just
think
watched
it
that
is.
movie though a couple of weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, it's I'd say that movie's like Silence of the Lambs. It's horror / thriller /
absolutely.
suspense.
It grabs you
Okay.
right away too, man.
Yeah. That's one of those movies where you watch it and then after you finish it, you're like, I need to watch something a little more lighthearted.
Yeah,
Like
let's
it makes you
turn on-
just feel like
Yeah.
Let's turn on a
dirty.
comedy
Makes me
special or something.
Feel icky.
Yeah, let's watch
Yeah.
some Disney movies.
Yeah.
Ernest Goes to Jail.
Yeah. I remember, Billy, I think me and you saw this in the theater, and I remember walking out, and every single person was quiet walking out.
Yeah.
You feel
It was just, oh, dude, you're drained.
Like somber.
like
and
emotionally drained.
there's nothing uplifting about the end of that movie.
No.
Like the last
No.
half hour.
You
Is
feel
just,
so depressed.
yeah. It's just,
So
what does he say at the end?
Good night, folks.
Hemingway once said, the world's worth fighting for. It's an ugly place. And then he says, like,
Yeah.
I agree with the second part or something.
Right.
Or the
And
first
then he
part.
said, get busy living or get busy dying.
John Doe got the upper hand here. John Doe got the upper hand.
yeah,
I
very
love that.
satisfying kill.
What does Spacey say when
Death.
he walks into the precinct? He's like,
Detective!
yeah, detective. He's holding his hand. Oh,
Detective?
that's great.
They're like ignoring him. And then he keeps yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, too bad we'll never see him again. All right. Brad, number 5.
So my number 5 death scene changed cinema forever
Ooh.
Ooh.
with its editing, its score, its killing
I know
of
what
the
this is.
protagonist.
I know
It's the 1960 Alfred Hitchcock film Psycho.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Great
So this
death.
movie was so influential. There's actually a documentary on just the shower scene. It's called 7852.
Uh-huh.
That's because there were 78 camera setups. There were 52 cuts
Wow.
for
Yeah.
a scene that lasted 45 seconds.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that was so unique about this is Marion Crane, the Janet Leigh character. I don't remember a film that had ever done this before, where you're following this lead character and then she's killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like early.
So that's the rule, right? It's like you talk about rules in horror movies. You're following your main character. It's like, oh, she's dead. Like
Yeah.
this main character that we thought was like the lead star. Like anything can happen now. Like she's dead.
Yeah.
So I have a few little fun facts about this.
Okay.
So Alfred Hitchcock actually wouldn't let anyone in the movie theater if it had started. And does anybody know what they used for blood in the shower scene?
I think it was Hershey's chocolate syrup, right?
Yeah.
Hershey's chocolate syrup.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for the stabbing sound, it was a cassava melon, if I'm saying that right.
Ooh, yummy.
So they actually stabbed a melon in the, obviously
Wow.
like in like
Crazy.
an audio booth for that.
Yeah.
You don't actually see any stabbing. The only scene that looks like is being stabbed is the knife had blood on the tip and they shot it in reverse. So it looks like she's being stabbed.
Amazing.
And,
Amazing
they did it
movie.
reverse.
The mind, like you said, the editing is so good because the mind makes you think that you're seeing something that actually isn't.
That you're not.
happening.
Yeah. And that
Yeah.
score, I mean, that scene alone has been parodied and the music has been used in rap song and Beastie Boys song.
Bernard Herrmann.
Yeah,
you know?
like you've seen that in everything, and
Such a good score.
The Eye to the Drain.
I mean,
Yeah,
and like
amazing cuts.
For the time, that was such a shocking thing.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
people freaked the fuck out.
A lot
I
of
mean-
theaters, cities wanted to ban the movie. Like they wouldn't. I
Yeah.
think they refused to play it. and
I just
stuff.
love that he doesn't show violence, but it's
implied
from
Through-
cut to cut. It's just
Through the editing. That's amazing.
I mean, I've seen a poster of like frames, and it's literally like each frame of that death scene on a poster. It's just it's crazy, like how masterfully he shot that one scene.
Yeah.
But like Billy said, like that was like shocking to the audiences, and to me it was kind of the birth of the slasher film.
It was.
I agree. Yeah.
Like Norman Bates was the first like crazy psychotic like
Right.
killer in a movie.
Killer.
Yeah.
And Janet Leigh is reaching out at the end with her hand up, and then she grabs the
Shower
Shower
curtain.
curtain.
And it
you see all
pulls.
the rings pop
Pop,
off.
pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
That's
dominoes.
such an iconic scene.
Hitchcock is the master of horror.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean,
I guess-
of suspense. Excuse me.
Of suspense.
Yes.
Horror is
Thrillers.
Yes. They said that in that one shot, the only take that they could use, she drew a breath, and they had to cut to the shower head.
Oh.
But it actually worked out. Hitchcock said it actually worked out better for suspense that it cut back to the shower head with the
Yeah.
water.
So that was the whole reason why he shot this in black and white, is because he didn't think the censors would let, that
pass.
red blood,
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
So,
Which it's true.
smart
I mean,
move.
that's why a lot of horror movies, even now, like From Dusk Till Dawn, the blood was
Yep.
green.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Tarantino does that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Kill Bill, he had to put that one fight scene in black and white to
Yep.
get it to pass.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I forgot
She
about
blinks
that.
her eyes and it goes black and white.
That's
Yep.
right.
Classic movie.
Sad. I just want to go to a movie and see nothing but blood.
I just want to go to the movie, period, bro.
A bloodbath.
Yeah.
Number 5, Psycho.
Awesome. Good stuff.
All right. Ted, number 5.
My number 5 was a Lionsgate movie produced by Mutant Enemy Productions in 2012. Holy cow! It's been 8 years since the movie out. Cabin in the Woods is my number 5.
We
you guys
saw that. I remember that.
We saw it together in the theater.
Yeah,
that's right.
You know what? There's so many great death scenes in this. I'm so curious what you're gonna pick.
Well, I mean, I guess.
How can? Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Well, that's a tough one.
That's one to narrow down.
Yeah, because I love all the characters in the elevators that come out, but yeah, wow. I mean, I love. Everything from the zombie room. I'm gonna go with the zombie room.
Hold on, you didn't actually have a death scene picked from this movie. You just picked the movie.
Well,
God.
Yes. I mean, no, I didn't.
I think it's.
Jeez.
Was there too many, Ted, that you couldn't just pick one? Is that?
Yeah, they were all so good.
That you.
Very
this one.
interesting.
Please tell me for your other picks you actually have death scenes.
I do.
Okay, good.
I do. Yeah. So
that movie was a blast.
So I call
So
this
much
one.
fun.
I call this one a tie. So all the deaths were my number 5.
They were pretty good, man.
They were. Yeah.
The Merman.
Yeah. Which one stands out to you the most, though? I think
the motorcycle one.
that's the one I was gonna say, dude. I swear to God, it was pretty good.
Who's that? Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Chris
Hemsworth is like the most notable
it's like
actor
such
in that movie.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get out of here. And then he flies off the cliff and he hits a wall. And it's almost like a Warner Brothers cartoon, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, I love all the supporting roles. The supporting roles are great in that movie too.
Awesome.
But that ending is just so epic. It was like, well, it's an homage to every horror death and villain that you can think of. So
I love that movie's kind of it took on like a whole new fan base, like online and like on Redbox and on demand. Like a lot of people who did not see it at the theaters. It's like a huge cult classic now.
Yeah, and I know we've talked about this before that like that movie was on the shelf for a while. They didn't know what to do with it, and man, we all I think we all went to see it. It was such a blast.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I honestly haven't watched it since we saw it in the theater.
Me too.
I think I watched it.
I didn't. This is the first time
you guys are gonna be like, what?
I
don't
really
remember liking it.
I should
either.
own it when it comes down
when
to
we
it.
saw it. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it when you saw it?
When we saw it at the theater, maybe I just wasn't in the mood for that type of movie that night. I don't remember enjoying it all
Loved
that much.
it.
Like,
oh man, yeah. I mean, to me, it was like, where is this movie go? Is this like a ripoff of Evil Dead? Is this a ripoff?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, man, like it keeps cutting back to these guys, like in a science
Government
experiment.
or
like what are they doing? Like,
Yeah.
how are they spying on these people?
Yeah,
It's
meanwhile,
like,
they're in the
oh.
cabin. Remember, they were in the cabin for a little bit.
Cabin in the Woods.
And
Yeah,
then
and it's like they're down. Yeah, they're down below, like actually doing an experiment
Like
on these
fucking
people,
with these kids.
appeasing the gods.
Yeah.
Makes it kind of think maybe that's what's going on in real life.
Yeah, there's a giant cobra in it, and it's crazy.
I don't remember it.
There's a
And
ghost.
Sigourney Weaver.
I do remember her. I need to rewatch it. I don't remember a lot of it.
It's
pretty
good.
good.
I think it's.
Weaver
I
came
personally,
out
I
then.
think it's an ownable movie. You can.
I have the
Wasn't
Blu-ray.
Was there a unicorn or a Pegasus in one?
It was.
scene
I
or
think there
something?
was a unicorn and it like impaled one of the workers. or
Yeah,
something like
I
that.
remember
I mean,
that scene.
That to me is kind of the fun, is like spotting all the different killers in those
Absolutely.
boxes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dude who looked like Hellraiser was kind of eerie because he just comes out of the darkness so slow.
Yeah.
And he's just in that box. It's so creepy.
He's got like little like circle saw blades in his face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
pins.
I mean, to me, it was like such a like wink and a nod and tongue in cheek on like
was.
all the tropes of the horror genre.
Yep.
It's like, oh, here's this, the killer redneck, the zombie,
Absolutely.
everything they had on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So number 5.
Let's go to Brett, number 5.
All right, my number 5 is from Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
Ooh.
It's the.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. I can't remember how their name's pronounced. The Kupfer family waiting room death scene. This is the scene where they go to the factory. The family. There's like a kid and his parents, and they're all like excited to go to the factory to see how the masks are made. And they put him in like a waiting room, And they're like, we'll be right with you, like for the tour.
They're like the Midwestern, like all-American family.
Yeah, they look like they're from like Iowa maybe or Nebraska.
The dad's got like a plaid tuxedo on, like a plaid suit.
Yeah, from like 1975. Like, and then there's a TV on in the room, and it starts. The commercial comes on, and the kid's got his mask on. He like sits in front of the TV, and he's all excited. And then the parents are kind of like, "Oh, this is interesting." And then it starts doing the
put on your mask quickly. Put on your mask.
And then
Silver Shamrock.
Yeah, and then you quickly see it. It like it's just the scene is so. It's like creepy because like
grotesque in a way.
Yeah, like these like snakes and like the parents are watching the kid sitting in front of the TV and they don't know what's happening, but you see it. The kid's mask starts like shriveling up, like almost like imploding on itself, and then like snakes and like crickets and roaches start pouring out of like all the holes, and it's like disgusting. And then the parents they dropped in and there's like shit coming out of it. It's just like
wow.
It's a really disturbing scene, but I remember as a kid that scene, like I loved it. Like it didn't scare me, but it freaked me out, but not in a scary way. It's like it was creepy, but like cool. I was like, oh, this is badass. Like I love that movie. So
like anytime when kids bite the dust, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, and they did it pretty creatively.
Yeah,
I remember watching that movie as a kid and being so pissed off because I was like, "Where is Michael Myers?"
Yes,
he's in it. He's in the movie.
He is.
Where he is?
I know where he is. They're in. He's on the TV. They're playing the trailer for Halloween.
He's in the bar, and there's a commercial for Halloween.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you see Michael Myers walking down the staircase.
I was like you, Billy. I remember watching that movie and just waiting for him to come out of somewhere, and I'm like, wait, isn't this Halloween?
Where's Michael Myers?
Where's Michael Myers?
Yeah.
But that scene, I do remember that scene. That scene was way grotesque, but it was really cool.
They used to show like all these slasher movies on like local television when I was a child. Probably Brad remembers this. And it's like they would edit the shit out of the movies. Where like if someone gets killed, I almost feel like they would just cut away and show them like dying, like falling down, going like, but like they would cut out everything good.
Right.
Well, a lot of the horror movies I saw when I was a kid was local TV stations, like just the local.
Yep.
TV, so they were edited, but I still had fun watching it.
They would do the disclaimer at first. They would like this
your discretion is advised.
Yeah, this movie has been edited for television. We're like, damn it, no.
But you know what? Honestly, when you're a kid, like they're still scary. Like
hell yeah,
sure,
yeah.
The suspense.
It's still scary. Like just because they're edited doesn't mean they're not good. Like when you're a kid.
I agree.
Yeah, that Halloween 3 is a fun watch. Though.
Is.
I mean,
you know what?
It's underrated.
I feel like over the years, like Billy said, like even me, I was like, yeah, this isn't a Halloween movie. Where's Michael Myers? But if you view it as a standalone movie, like Carpenter wanted to do, like
exactly,
it's a cool movie on its own.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't think I appreciated it till I got older.
I agree.
I'm the same with Brett. I was almost felt cheated that Michael Myers wasn't in it, so I hated it for that reason, and that kind of blinded me towards actually watching it. So I rewatched it much later, and dude, it was awesome.
Yeah,
You got to escape the fact that he's not in there.
And like you said, Brad, once you know the story, like how that was Carpenter's original intent was to do a series of movies, but each one was a totally different story.
Yeah.
Once you realize that, then I think you also like.
Could you imagine
makes you appreciate the movie
if they
more.
would have just went with that, and then how many movies we would have had?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what they should have done is just named it a different movie. Don't make. I mean, I get it as a studio, you're looking for branding to make more money, but it's like. You could have named it Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just not Halloween 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just Halloween Season of the Witch, and that's it.
Right.
Don't number it, because then now you're thinking it's in succession with the other movies.
Yeah, but I think his original intent, Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, was to call them all Halloween, but like it would have been like the first Halloween was like, even though it wasn't in the movie title, it would have been like Halloween Haddonfield. Season of the Witch would have been Halloween, like I don't know what he would have called it, but they probably would have had like
2 wouldn't have come out because he was forced to do 2, right?
The studio was like, you have to
give
make
us another
sequel.
one.
Yeah.
You could have called that movie Hey Kids.
Yeah.
Silver Shamrock.
8 more days till Halloween, Halloween.
Well, speaking of Halloween, George, number 5.
All right. Number 5 for me. This movie has tons and tons of scenes where you could have picked, to be your favorite, but this is my all-time favorite. And again, this one stood out to me, and it's like the iconic one that I look out for when I watch this movie.
Okay.
And it's Nightmare on Elm Street, where Johnny Depp gets sucked into the bed.
Yeah.
And then you wait because he's chilling in the bed, just relaxing with his headphones on. He's got the TV on.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he gets sucked into the bed, and then a couple seconds go by, and then all of a sudden, just a splatter of blood comes out, and
like
it
a
hits the
geyser.
ceiling.
Yeah.
It's a volcano.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck? How much blood is in his body, dude? That's
Right.
fucking
good.
covering the
Yeah,
entire-
where's that blood coming
But it
from?
is so awesome, dude. I
It
love
is.
that scene.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
They
That one
really
almost
did a
made
lot-
my top
They really
5.
did a lot of cool visual stuff on that movie. Like,
They
did.
The Tina death scene, like rotating sets, and
Yeah.
it was really inventive
yeah.
for that time.
Like,
I love watching these, like the death that George just mentioned specifically, though. But like, I love watching these deaths and trying to pick apart how they shot it. Like, how did they pull
Right.
it off?
And it's crazy,
because that
man.
scene, he goes in the bed and then it doesn't cut. Like, you see like his computer monitor fall into the bed and like go in the same hole. And it's like, how did they do that? Like, was there like a giant like room underneath the bed that like
Yeah.
it was just all the stuff was just being dumped into? Like, it's just, I love it. It makes
I
you think
rewatched-
like
Yeah.
how
I
they
rewatched-
did that.
I rewatched this scene yesterday because it was like high on my list.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
you can see, he's got his headphones on and the television like on his lap. You can like right when the scene starts, you can see the TV kind of like shake a little, like someone's under there holding it. I think. And then when Freddy's glove comes up, it obviously moves because he pulls him under. But
Yes.
yeah, it's like, was it a false body? But Johnny Depp's head, and he was somewhere else. But no, it looks like they pulled him under, and then
I think
must have had like a tube.
Yeah, or like it was a giant room underneath. Like that was like a fake set, like a fake room above
Right.
I would have loved to have seen
another
that set,
room where
dude.
like
Yeah.
he
That'd
fell
been
into
awesome.
and everything. Like, yeah, it's just like
I'm sure you can find YouTube video. I mean, I've watched the Tina death where they rotate that room, so I'm sure you
Yeah.
can find a video on
like
that.
a behind the scenes kind of
That'd
thing.
be awesome.
Yeah, right.
Wasn't that like Johnny Depp's first movie, or
I think it was. I think that
It
was
was.
his debut.
Breakthrough or something like that, or
I think
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was.
Well,
Such
it
a
wasn't
great
Kevin
scene.
Bacon's first movie, Friday the 13th? Or
Yeah,
I think so.
It was.
I think so.
Yeah,
lot-
I mean, it launched a lot of careers.
It did.
Horror movies.
Yeah.
And I think Matthew McConaughey or like Renee Zellweger,
Three,
their first
Chainsaw
movie's like,
3.
yeah.
Oh no, 4. Was it 4?
Is it 4?
I think
And
it
then
was.
Leonardo
I think-
DiCaprio's
oh,
first movie's
shit,
like
yeah.
Critters 4, I think, or something like.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Jack Nicholson did what?
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shining, obviously.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a great scene, man. I mean, I have such fondness for that. That was one of the first movies I feel like I watched when I was a child.
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one was so creepy.
Dude, I loved this movie when I was a kid so much. I remember one of my buddies down the street. It was like summer break, and I'd rented that movie or somehow got my hands on it. And I was like, dude, you got to watch this movie. He's like, I don't want to watch it. I'm scared. I was like, just watch the movie. Dude, like 15 minutes into it, he started crying. Man. Ran up the stairs.
dude, this-
I heard
It's a
the- I
scary
heard my door-
movie.
I heard the door slam, and he ran home crying.
Oh
I'm like, well,
shit!
is
That shit
awesome,
was
dude.
scary,
Well,
man.
this was like the pre-camp Nightmare on Elm Street, so this was the first one, and it's like
Yeah, the
where you
scary
don't really
Freddy.
see a lot of him. You see like him in the shadows and
Shadows.
I was
It's
gonna say
great.
the sequels when I was a kid didn't scare me because Freddy, he was funny. So.
yeah, he was campy, so it was
Yeah,
he's
so
a one-liner at
I
that
wasn't
point.
scared of the sequels
yeah. The
at
first
all when I
one
was a kid.
really
the
scared
Yeah,
first
me.
because I don't remember a lot of like movie monsters being able to like communicate with people. You know,
Right.
usually
Yeah.
they were bad for a reason and they
Yeah.
didn't speak.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
yeah, I feel like he was the, if not the first, one of the first, like ones that had one-liners. and,
Creepy.
most of the guys are hiding behind a mask at that
Exactly.
point.
They're either silent or they don't. They're
And he was-
a man of
he
few
was
words. They're
such
not
a
cracking
huge
jokes.
Phenomenon.
A lot
too,
of
like,
scary
yeah.
scenes in that movie,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, speaking of scary scenes, let's go to my number 4.
Do it.
Probably Brad's favorite movie of all time. He's talked about it a few times. The Thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Love that movie.
It's the paddle scene.
Yes.
Oh,
So
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, like I watched that scene the other day, and it's still so damn creepy. It's
Yeah.
so awesome the way they
Yeah.
shot that scene.
Are you talking about the Norris heart attack scene?
Yeah.
where he
Yeah.
paddles in, he
Oh,
goes
dude.
in
Hands
one
fall
last-
through,
It's so
Because it's a
effective.
giant mouth
and it
It's
cuts
so
off
good.
his hand. It's so like
Fangs?
fucked
So-
up.
with giant
It is-
teeth.
It is bad, dude. I love it.
That movie is full of like demented, twisted deaths that are just
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't own that one on Blu-ray, but
What?
I have
What?
to get that.
You need to.
I know that's the
Get
one I
the-
should
get-
have.
Get the Scream Factory. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it just sets off a whole series of events with those guys. That scene, and it's so good. I mean, it looks so good. I feel
It's
like
amazing.
nowadays, like movies like that, they just don't. They try so hard to be like computer graphics and all sorts of 3Ds and special effects, but like that didn't look like any of that. It looked so real and so cool.
Yeah,
It's amazing that that film was made in '82, and it, to me, your eye, with computer effects, it just doesn't work.
It doesn't, dude.
Your eye takes you out of it. It's a practical thing that you could hold and see on a set. Rob Bottin's effects are amazing, dude.
Yeah.
There's so many awesome creatures in that movie.
Yeah,
the dog, like when it's mutated in the dog
And the kennel,
yeah,
dude, that is
that's
so
like a
fucking
real,
scary.
looks like a dog that really mutated on the set, like
Exactly.
with CG
And
now.
you
It
think
wouldn't
about
look
it
that
like,
real at all.
as a kid watching that, and you're just like blown away by
Like
it.
This
mind fucked.
Yeah.
The Thing's also one
Right.
of those movies that I wish I could have seen in the theater
Me
as
too.
an adult or teenager.
Yeah.
Like I saw it when I was a
would've
kid
been
on
like-
TV, but
You never will be able to again.
no.
I would have been like 5 years old.
I was 3.5, yeah. But I wish I
Ted
could.
Ted and I saw it in the theater.
It was so great to watch it in the theater.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
But I
We saw
mean,
it
see it in the theater for the first time when it was new,
Oh,
like
right.
as an
Yeah.
adult or a teenager. I wish that's
Yeah.
one of those movies I wish I really could have experienced in
Absolutely.
1982
Better get your DeLorean.
when I was like 15 or 16.
Get you
Yeah, I mean, I don't think audiences hadn't seen effects and gore like that before.
Yeah,
No.
it was
And you know what?
groundbreaking.
What's sad is like, not only general audiences, the horror audience community kind of shunned that movie at the time. It's terrible, and then now it's like a cult classic.
Yeah, big
Yeah,
time.
yeah, bombed.
Oh,
it
why did they shun it? I don't.
didn't do well at the box office. Well, it came out in summer too.
Oh,
It was
They
around
marketed
ET.
it. Yeah, it came out in June. So
Yep.
E.T. and Poltergeist, I think, came out like that same
So
month.
everybody wanted the cute alien, and then they got the real alien.
they're like,
Yeah.
we don't want that one.
But I feel like a lot of good movies are like that, like where they weren't embraced. The Shining's like that too. They're not really well. They're not embraced by the critics when they first come out, and then they become like a cult classic
It's
later
like a
on.
fine wine.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you ever see the porn version of this movie?
No. What's
Here
it
we
called?
go.
Where there were like 8 women trapped in a Arctic base, and they couldn't get out, and this alien was next door, and he was very lonely.
No.
What was it called?
The Thing.
Terrible.
The big thing.
All right,
man.
Brad, number 4.
He goes, all right.
My number 4 was a 1987 horror film. It's called A Nightmare on Elm Street 3: Dream Warriors.
Nice.
And this scene is amazing. There's so many cool death scenes in this
Yes.
movie.
I think I know which one you're gonna say, dude.
It's the Philip puppet scene.
Yes, I almost put this on my list.
Dude, I still remember seeing this when I was a kid, and he rips out his Achilles tendon. He rips out his tendons in his arms, and he uses this guy like a puppet.
Like
it's
a
just
marionette, dude.
It's so disgusting.
I love that scene.
And he's walking
he's literally walking this kid down the hallway, like pulling him like a puppet. Like just thinking about it is just. It's
trying to,
so
like, do the
disgusting.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
And then he makes him walk out to the edge, and then he's like a marionette, and then he cuts the tendons like strings. Like
he
puppet
cuts all the
strings.
tendons and watches the kid drop. So,
Yeah.
I gotta go back and watch
to
that
me,
one.
there were so many things in this movie, like the big worm Freddy, the Welcome to Primetime bitch, where he picks
TV
her up
Freddy.
and dude, the
That
TV
almost made-
Freddy,
that
the
almost made my
TV
list.
Freddy is
Yes.
priceless.
Yes.
But to me, it's like a gross out like death factor that actually like you can feel like god like that
And again, it's one of those where
Wow.
you look for that scene when you watch that movie. You're like, oh shit, I know what I'm waiting for.
Nice.
It's one of those scenes.
I remember the punk rock chick who like her arms start like going and like he puts
the
the needles
veins?
in.
Oh yeah, they start like what is it, like heroin starts squeezing out of them.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I mean, this is definitely the second best Nightmare on Elm Street of the series.
hands down
For sure.
hands down.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
without a doubt.
I think I actually saw the third one before I saw the other ones. That was the first one I saw,
That's good then.
and then I think I saw 1 and 2.
Yeah.
After
Oh,
that.
2.
Was this also like I don't know if this is accurate or not. Is this like one of the first times like a band did a song for a horror movie and like hyped up the movie?
I feel like it was.
It might have been.
Yeah. That's a great song.
I don't know if horror movies had a lot of great soundtracks, but I feel like this was like early MTV, and this song was definitely like a promotional tool for that because Freddie was in the damn video.
true.
Yeah.
Dude, he did a Fat Boys rap video. You remember that?
Yes.
I remember Trick or Treat had a bunch of bands, but I don't think that came out before Dream Warriors.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. It was around that same time though. thinking.
Yeah, I need to watch that
We'll
one
look it
again. I didn't see Lawrence Fishburne was in that.
Yeah.
Was he
what's
one of the doctors?
Arquette.
Patricia Arquette, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's great.
Heather
Al-
Langenkamp.
Al
Yep.
Pacino, Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Tilda Swinton.
Oh my god.
She was Freddie.
That was her debut.
Lawrence Olivier.
Tilda Swinton.
Benji.
NG.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, Ted, number 4.
My number 4 is most of my films have like just this really emotional impact on me. Just it scared the bejesus out of me. It was this one was by John Landis. It's American Werewolf in London.
Ooh.
Nice.
So it's Griffin Dunn's death. By a werewolf
In the field.
In the field. It's just that scene had me like I was covering my eyes while I was watching it. Like it was so scary, and they're both camping through Europe,
Yep.
and it's really a tense scene because
It
you
is.
kind of hear the werewolf in the distance, and they're on the run, and his buddy gets killed, and then David Naughton like runs off, and then he realizes he has to go back and try to do something.
He's
so.
like, I can't leave my friend there.
Yep. But just amazing. Like he sees his buddy, all torn up, when he runs back, and then, he comes. His friend comes back to Griffin Dunn comes back to visit him in
In the
other
hospital,
scenes. Yeah,
right?
yeah, pretty creeped out by those scenes too. But
There's also another great death scene is when the werewolf is in the movie theater in London and it comes outside and bites that police officer in the face and neck. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like full force, like bites him right in the
that's at
jaw.
Piccadilly Circus. That
Yes.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff. But
I just remember like the sound of the wolf was so loud
Yeah.
and so scary.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, I
you
remember
know,
that.
deep-
It'd make the hairs on your neck stand up, dude.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you
And
remember
it- yeah.
Do you remember the subway scene when that businessman's running
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
you see, it's like a wide shot of the escalator and you
Yeah.
slowly see the werewolf crawling towards him. Like
yeah.
you don't even see the whole thing. It's like the front half and it's just like the hair on the back of your neck stands up.
Oh,
It's so
100%.
creepy.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
I
one
love
of
this
one of
movie.
Landis's best films, in my opinion. And actually, if you go on YouTube, actually Joe Rogan does an hour-long interview with Rick Baker about the effects of this film.
Nice.
So go on YouTube
man,
when
I
you get a
will.
chance
Oh, you know what?
and
I've
watch
seen that. It's
yeah,
very good.
yeah. Just
Dude,
a great interview.
A side note of like what's so cool about John Landis, like I feel like he can jump genres so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Blues Brothers is a musical.
Right.
This is a horror movie. He did a Western with Three Amigos pretty much. Like
Yeah.
it's just like horror movie with American Werewolf. It's just crazy.
Yeah, such a versatile director.
Right. And all
Yeah, this
three-
was one of those movies I watched a lot on like HBO as a child,
Oh,
which
for
probably
sure.
I shouldn't have been watching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
I agree. That's where I saw it.
Yep.
But American
Yeah.
Werewolf, that's
Great pick.
that's my number 4.
Great stuff. Mr. Brett.
All right, my number 4 already got mentioned. I think it was by you, Billy.
What?
Was the Dr. Copper's death in the lab room, trying to bring Vince back to life in the thing.
Yeah.
That's a good one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it was so
Paddles.
many
It's a twofer.
with so many death scenes. I didn't think any one of us were gonna maybe one repeat.
I
but
think
there-
there's some
thought-
cream that
there's-
rises to the top. in
I
this.
thought we would have
Wow.
at least 2 or 3 repeats.
Yeah.
But
probably.
yeah, there's some iconic ones for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think there's a couple more that we haven't named yet that
Yep.
are probably going to pop up.
Yeah.
They're coming.
Yeah.
Cool.
All
Human.
right, Mr. George,
number 4.
number 4.
Now this movie wasn't one of my favorite movies because it kind of sucked, but
Okay.
the opening scene was probably one of the most craziest death scenes that I've ever seen, and it's the dance sequence on the deck of Ghost Ship.
Oh, I remember that.
And
Dude, it's amazing. It's
Oh.
amazing actually.
It's just, dude, it's so crazy. I rewatched it like about a week ago when I was doing my research, and just watching it, it's still very freaking disturbing, man.
Yeah.
It's great.
Dude, so let me put this up. It's they're on a cruise ship, and then they're having like a little dance, and I would say all of the crew's on top of the deck, and they're all dancing. There's a band playing, and all of a sudden there's this taut like rope or cord, like an iron cord that gets cut, and it flies down and it chops everybody in half, except for one girl that stays and obviously becomes the spoiler alert.
She's like
the-
dancing with
Spoiler
her dad.
alert.
She's
I
dancing with
haven't
her
seen it.
dad. I
Yeah,
think.
who's
So
the
she's like-
captain of the ship, and because he's higher up, his head gets chopped off.
Wow.
And everyone on the ship is like, and they show parts where people's bodies are falling off, sliding sideways.
Yeah.
This one lady's like looking down, like,
The
oh my
sound
god,
is
why am I
really cool.
bleeding? And her body just pitches forward, and her legs stay up. It's just very disturbing.
Wow.
The sound in that scene is really good. Like the editor, the sound editor, did a good job because there's no dialogue, it's just sound.
It's like meat slapping, like wet meat
Ugh.
slapping the floor.
And it's
dude.
weird. There's like it gets quiet too after
Yes.
because there's music playing, and then it gets silent, and then everyone's kind of you don't know what's going
Holy
on.
shit.
You see everyone looking at each other,
Yes.
but they're like, and then all of a sudden you just start seeing these bodies like
Sliding.
slumping over and falling.
Oh.
And like the last few, the girl's reaction on her face is just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And the rope just missed her by like maybe like.
It's just
you know,
because she's a
head.
kid, like
Yeah.
she's a little below it. Yeah,
It was insane.
I've never
dude.
seen that movie, but I have seen that scene.
Yeah.
It was at work like 10 years ago.
I've seen the movie, and George is right. It's like just watch the opening scene, and then like you're good. But like this definitely made my honorables list. Like that opening scene is pretty awesome.
And you
Yeah.
figure like the opening scene was so amazing. Like the rest of the movie just tanks like really bad. Like they could have done a lot of good shit with this movie, and
it's like almost like it feels like the movie got greenlit off of the opening scene.
yeah, and they were
Yeah.
like, woohoo, all right, fuck the rest of it. Yeah, it was
Like
just
that was their pitch.
Yep, it was just blah. Like, ugh.
I wonder if they gave those people's family members half off their next cruise.
Oh,
Oh,
I remember working at the video store, and that movie came out, and like it had like the cover box was like 3D or something. And it would like have
Yeah.
like the ship would turn into like a skull.
I
or
remember
something.
Yeah,
that.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
which I
Like
think,
a
I think there's
lenticular-
I think there's an old horror movie called Death Ship that they
Yes.
stole that cover from.
Yes,
Oh.
it is. I remember watching that. That was one of my mom's favorite movies, Death Ship.
Wow.
Mom's a huge
Yeah.
horror fan, by the way. Oh yeah, there it is. That's it. Yep. Wow, dude. Is that a VHS copy or? Oh no, it's your phone. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My bad. I thought it was like a VHS cover.
Death Ship.
Yeah.
What kind of food do they serve on Death Ship?
rotten food.
Arby's.
Arby's.
They got the meat.
There goes our sponsorship.
All right. My number 3, to kind of piggyback off of what Ted was talking about earlier, it's Cabin in the Woods, but I'm just going to say it's when the elevator doors open and carnage ensues. There's
Oh,
so
man.
many great death
Dude.
scenes. I can't pick one. It's just,
Yeah.
it's amazing
It's a-
because there's a kick-ass death scene every 5 seconds in that, and
Exactly.
when it happens, it's great. It's just carnage. I'll just say the Cabin in the Wood carnage scene.
Yeah. I thought this
There's a
was
lot of
called.
blood.
I thought this was called Deaths Scenes. Top Deaths.
Hey, Ted, I hear that cricket again, Ted.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good ones, man. In that,
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint one. I mean, obviously, Merman was great,
That was
and there's just so many good ones. Like the little girl with the weird face. She turns around, she's like, ah! It's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's so many creepy things down there. I love it. I think they did a hell of a job.
They did, and they're
What's that
very
thing?
satisfying deaths because of those villains through the
Exactly.
movies. Just pretty
Like,
much.
if you haven't watched it, anyone out there that listens to our podcast hasn't watched this movie, please do yourself
Yeah.
a favor on Halloween.
That's a fun,
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
modern
Please
movie.
watch it. Definitely watch it.
Yeah.
It's totally worth it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
All right, Brad, what you got for number 3?
So my number 3, actually, I don't even know. I think I saw this when I was younger. It's not like a favorite. I feel like I need to go back and watch it, but everyone has seen this at least this death sequence.
I think I know
It's
what you're
the- It's the 1981 David Cronenberg film Scanners,
Oh.
and it's the Michael Ironside head explosion.
Oh, that's a good one.
So he's
forgot about
he's
that
got
one.
he's got these like telekinetic powers, and he's sitting next to this guy, and like this whole auditorium is watching him, and he's just closing his eyes, and the guy next to him's like, because you can see it's like he's starting to affect him, and his head just completely explodes
Awesome.
everywhere in the best possible way.
That's funny.
Has everyone seen Scanners? This clip?
I haven't.
Yes.
I've seen the clip. I just haven't seen it in a
I've
long
seen the
time.
movie.
Yeah.
See, that's
I mean,
the
it's been
thing. I
forever,
feel like
dude.
it's not on a lot of people's list, but like you've seen that scene.
Yeah, that shot of Ironside, like where he's like opening it, he's like opening it, like gritting and like he's all like tense, like
Yeah, veins popping out his head.
yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
like that's like
I'm gonna
he's
go
having
back
so
and watch
much
this.
fun.
still of that.
He's having so much fun blowing this dude's head up.
Yeah,
Is that on
Yeah, that's-
streaming anywhere?
I'm sure it seems
I
on
don't think so.
YouTube.
No,
Yeah,
probably,
probably
not.
not,
I mean, dude, I know I don't think I've seen the whole movie as I've never seen it as an adult. I think as a
Me too.
child I saw some of that stuff, but like I don't know what that movie is. I probably need to check that out.
But you've definitely seen that
The
sequence.
head explosion
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen that sequence. Yeah, I think I got this movie confused with Altered States, but that's not the movie I'm thinking about.
I like Altered
Right.
States actually too.
Yeah,
Another
it's
weird
kind of like
movie.
the same genre
Was that-
of movies.
William
Yeah.
Hurt.
Yes.
Yeah,
And he's like they're doing like weird like mind altering like experiments
or whatever,
like,
yeah.
and there's weird like visuals in it. Like
Did
goats'
Cronenberg,
heads getting chopped off and stuff like.
I bet that hurt.
Did Cronenberg do? He did Videodrome.
Yeah, I
did.
think he
Yeah.
did.
Okay,
And his,
yeah,
his
that's-
Strange.
movies
The Fly.
are so, they're
The
so,
Fly
it's like,
was
he's
him.
he's like the David Lynch of horror movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But Scanners, I might have to go back and check that out, man. I know what you're talking about. That's a very iconic scene for sure. But I don't know what that movie's about.
Altered States.
Yeah,
is
it's just
another
like
one.
telekinetic powers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that movie
All
is
right.
on streaming. I was just gonna let you know. I use an app called Just Watch, and it's on Cinemax or Max Go, DirecTV, Canopy, and Cinemax Amazon. So
Well, everybody has
Yeah.
Canopy.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah,
it's on
I'm
my
watching
phone.
it now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Shield
All
us.
right, Ted, what you got for number 3?
My number 3 was a movie that came out in the summer of 1975, directed by
I know
Steven
this.
Spielberg.
Yes.
It's the opening scene for Jaws.
Jaws.
I just watched this a week ago
Great
for the first
scene.
time. No, I'm just joking.
For the first.
If only this movie would have been a hit.
Right?
More people would have seen it.
This movie was so scary it made people stop going in the ocean.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
That's
go
how
in my
scary
pool.
it was.
I wouldn't. When I saw this when I was a little kid, I wouldn't go in the pool. I thought.
Yeah, you thought there was a
I thought he was
shark in
gonna
your
come up
pool,
out of the drain.
right?
Yeah.
So you picked the opening scene?
The opening scene for this one. That was my.
I know.
I
I
would've-
would have picked the Quent scene.
Me too.
That is a great
I would
scene.
have picked
That's
that.
definitely
But
my
I
honorable
think that
mentions.
one
That was
maybe
so
it's 'cause
brutal.
it's the opening scene. She's hyperventilating. She's being
Right.
dragged around. She's hanging on to the buoy. For her last.
I think Quint's
breath.
I think Quint's
You know,
death to me
it-
was more impactful because it was short and more. I feel like it was more realistic. Like
Well,
he
like
dies
very
real
bloody.
quick and
It's
it's
very
just
bloody,
bloody
yeah.
and.
I agree with Brett because honestly, there's no music during this scene. It just feels real.
Yeah.
It's just like him. It's him kicking and screaming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
while Roy
It's-
Scheider's
it's-
character's like watching it, trying to hang
In
on
horror,
for dear
yeah.
life. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It is very brutal, dude. I watched it. I rewatched it. Like Brett said, I rewatched that movie like a
I
week
just
ago.
watched it like a week ago.
And
yeah.
that scene,
Yeah,
I didn't
me
really
too.
until I like really paid attention to it. And I've watched Jaws a million times, but I don't know for some reason that death scene, dude, it's really bad, like crazy, like
yeah,
Well, it
pretty
just kinda feels
grotesque,
like
man.
He's like spitting blood.
yeah.
he's like
Yeah.
gurgling,
Yeah.
It just-
and he's like
feels
hitting
like
the
he's
shark.
not-
He's
hitting
making
the-
these weird like noises too.
Yeah, it's like blood, like
gurgling or
gurgling.
something?
Yeah.
But he's also hitting the shark. It's very realistic. It's what
Yeah.
you'd probably do if you were getting eaten by a shark.
There was no
He's hitting the
CG
face of the shark
whatsoever.
with his fist, like pounding on it for like
Pounding on
just
it.
trying to hoping it like lets go, and it
Yeah.
obviously
Well-
doesn't.
Well, too. I feel like that scene comes out of nowhere. Like it's like pretty fast when
Yeah,
he gets attacked, and you have his background of like being in the war and his story on sharks and his.
I love that
fear. It's
character.
just- it
Actually,
all
great
adds
characters.
into into that
He know
scene.
you because just watching it like a week ago,
Yeah.
the scene where the boat's sinking and they know it's sinking, and he comes out, he looks up, like he puts his arm up, and he looks at the life jackets, and then the next shot is him going up to Hooper and Brody and throwing them life jackets, but he's not wearing
Yeah.
one. It's like he's accepting. He knows he's gonna probably die by the shark eating him. Like,
Right.
he's like prepared for death.
That's an okay
My favorite
scene.
Jaws is the one from James Bond.
So yeah,
Oh, shit.
wait, what was Ted's scene again? Ted, what was
The
it?
opening scene.
I know, I'm just messing around.
Sorry, dude, we hijacked your
we
scene.
hijacked
did.
Ted's scene.
Eh. Well, then we agree to disagree.
Wasn't in the opening scene basically that girl's getting killed, her boyfriend's like asleep on the beach?
He's
Yeah,
drunk.
he's drunk.
He
He's
gets drunk and
He's
passes
like drunk
out.
on the beach.
What an
And
idiot!
when I was
going.
watching it
Good
last
going.
week,
Yep.
I kept
Boyfriend?
thinking the movie obviously the movie wouldn't be half as long if he wasn't passed out drunk and would have seen her. He would have been able to tell him, "I saw it was a shark." Instead of like half the movie, they're trying to like downplay that it was a shark and that it was like a boat accident and
Yeah.
stuff. So, but
Yeah, but
that's what makes
like-
the scene
that's
work.
Drunk
like-
old dummy.
It's like any horror movie. If they leave the house, you don't have a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they wouldn't have had a
Yeah.
movie if the kid was sober and
When
saw her
I
die.
watched it, that girl's getting like drug around and slung around, kind of like Ace Ventura was in the.
Yeah.
in the shark,
Oh,
the
yeah,
pool.
totally.
He
Yeah.
totally was. Except, what does he say? That's when he says do not go in there. Woo!
That's their homage to Jaws.
Yeah.
Oh,
great.
Lord.
Yeah, that's my number. That's my number 3. Jaws.
Nice. All right, Brett, number 3. What you got?
My number 3 actually was already mentioned by
Jesus.
What?
Brad. Psycho.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The
Oh, yeah.
shower scene. I mean,
Iconic,
come on.
dude. That's
It's
pretty
classic.
iconic.
Yeah. This was a scene that I knew someone else was going to have.
Yeah.
on
Oh,
there,
for
like,
sure.
They had to.
I mean, it's
so-
iconic.
It is.
Yeah, and Psycho is one of the first horror movies I think I saw. I saw it when I was probably like, I don't know, 6 or 7, but definitely like scared It was like one of those scenes that when you're a kid, it's one of those movies where it kind of felt like I was watching a real death happen.
Yeah.
I think maybe because it was black and white too, it made me feel like I was watching like real footage of a death. So it kind of made me feel like awkward, but at the same time, it scared the hell out of me. And
It's like the chainsaw of that generation. It like feels real.
yeah,
It does.
The Chainsaw is definitely just like that
Well, and
too.
there's like a voyeuristic
yeah,
Yeah, you're watching a
Totally.
woman take a
sense to
shower.
sense to that movie. Yeah, he's like peeking through the hole. You're watching
Yeah.
what she's doing.
yeah.
Yep.
But like you already said, the way it's edited in the music in that scene by Bernard Herrmann, it's a really well done death scene.
Have you seen that documentary?
No, I
I want
haven't.
to see it. I wrote it down, by the way.
And it's all about
I need
just
to
that
watch
scene.
that.
Yeah.
It's just the shower scene.
Yeah, I need to watch
Wow.
I
that.
definitely wrote it down. I'm going to watch it.
Did you see the shitty remake?
Oh,
No,
Shot for
with
Shot.
Vince
I don't
Vaughn.
want to.
I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Was it bad?
Yep.
It's pretty bad.
It's just so unnecessary.
Yeah, come on, man.
And they
Yeah.
recreated it shot for shot, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's no real difference.
Not at all.
Pretty
dude.
much. There's like a weird like cow shot or like weird shots when like Vince Vaughn is looking through like at Anne Heche in the shower. Like it's not necessary. Like it's like I drew a Picasso painting tonight on my wall. It's like it's not necessary.
Do you
There's
remember?
already a
I don't remember
Picasso.
who directed
Exactly,
the
dude.
remake.
Gus Van Sant.
Oh,
But
okay.
do you
right.
think it could have been decent if it wasn't Vince Vaughn? He was just miscast.
I mean, honestly, it's like we've seen that movie. I mean, I guess you have to update it for like newer audiences, but like,
But why
Yeah,
at that point? Like, I don't.
yeah, right. Why do I do a shot
Yeah.
for shot? It's
Yeah.
been made.
I feel like a classic film like Psycho, or like we were just talking about Jaws, those types of movies don't need to be remade. Like they're timeless. Like even though they're Psycho's what 50 or 70 years old now, 60 years
Yeah.
old.
Oh, geez.
60 years old.
Wow.
And Jaws is 45 years old. They're still timeless. Like they
Yeah,
still hold up.
1960.
So I don't think it's not a good excuse to say a new generation of fans need to see an update, because that's selling the original one short. Like I
Well,
feel like if it's
I will-
a classic movie, it doesn't need to be remade at all ever.
I will say, when that plane lands, there's a lot of younger audience members that won't watch black and white movies.
That's true.
I was like that when I was a
Like-
kid. When I was like 5 years old, I wouldn't
Yeah,
watch
same
black
here.
and white. But then I grew up.
Well, I kind of grew
realized
up
that-
watching it too, because we watched like the Lone Ranger and
Oh, yeah.
TV shows like that with
Yeah.
my dad. So I was kind of used to it per se, so it didn't really
Yeah.
bother me. But I know
Totally.
younger generations all there for sure won't watch black and white, which
Yeah,
is
that's
a
why
shame,
they started
'cause-
colorizing
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, it's like
You're missing out on a lot of stuff.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever. I don't. To be honest, I don't think it should have been remade.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Thank God they don't do it again. They will. Anyway, George, number 3.
Number 3 for me. Here we go. This one, I don't think I have to explain much for it. I mean, it's pretty iconic. I think everyone's seen it, and it is the alien chestbuster scene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Wait, what?
it doesn't get any more exactly. Like, it doesn't get any more iconic and more probably seen more, by horror fans.
Yeah.
It's a great freaking scene, dude. Like, they're eating dinner. All of a sudden, he's got little chest pain. Everyone's like, "Oh, what's wrong? Is it the chili?"
Is it noodles?
It's like the food.
Yeah, they're like making fun of him.
Yeah, Cotto's like, the food ain't that bad.
Yeah,
You start
exactly.
coughing, like,
And then it's like you see his shirt move. Everyone's like, "What the fuck?" And then it just
Yeah.
pops out.
Yeah.
that scene.
It is and then-
Shocking.
yeah, it is, man. And I remember watching it and just being in awe of just again, and one of those things where it's like it wasn't done with CG. This is all practical effects. And it looked
Yeah.
freaking great, dude.
Yeah, dude, I can't imagine.
that's
like,
a horror
Can you imagine how
scene right
messy
there.
that scene was on the set? Like,
Yeah.
how many? I want. Do we know how many takes they did that scene in? I'm assuming that it had to take more than one,
don't.
right?
But
With a
I don't
blood-
know.
To set up that shot is like in itself like amazing. Like,
So I heard that
you
they
know,
didn't tell the actors what was actually going to happen in that scene.
Yes,
They
I
said
heard
something's going
that.
to happen.
Oh, like the first time they shot, they
yeah.
didn't had
So
no-
a lot of those were true reactions. What about the short redhead that got sprayed
Dude,
with
I feel
blood?
like
Veronica Cartwright?
Yeah,
yeah,
Yes.
I
that
feel
was a
like-
true
I feel like
reaction.
that blood splash on her, dude, it's oh god, like it's
Yeah.
like ugh, so
got-
disgusting.
got
Yeah,
blasted.
she was not expecting that because you can see
Yeah.
you see the reaction in the shot, and she's just like,
Yeah, the
You're
acting is John Hurt. Is this the
Yes,
the guy?
John Hurt was.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like after the alien burst out of his chest, like he's on the table. Obviously, he's dead, but he's like his hands
Muscle
still like
fingers.
moving,
Yeah,
like,
like
it's
spasming.
twitching. Yeah, like
Yeah.
like a chicken with its head cut off kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, what I also love about that scene is like there's not like a build up of oh here's something coming, here's
Yeah.
some scary music,
Yeah.
here's a stinger effect. It's like it just played real like a dinner scene.
yeah, they're
like
just having
Yeah.
dinner.
like yeah, like the cast is as shocked
jump
as like
scare.
we're living it as the cast is.
Yeah,
And I think there's a shot in that scene. It's right when he starts kind of choke, like they think he's choking on the food.
yeah.
And they show a shot. It's real low on the table, and you just see Ian Holmes' character looking, and it's like Ian Holmes.
Yes.
His character Ash. It's like he knows something.
He knows
Yep.
something's up. 'cause
Yep.
He
he's not
knows.
moving.
You can see.
He's
yeah,
eyeballing
he's just
him
kind of.
before it kind of happens.
He's kind of like not admiring it. I want to say he's just like kind of like.
Quizzical, looking at it. Just
Yeah,
like,
he's studying what's
yeah.
happening. Like you can tell, like he knew, like
Snake
that might
fuck.
have been something that was going to happen. Yeah, like
Everyone else has a reaction except him. He's just looking all mysterious and shit over there.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
seems
that's a great flick.
that's
man.
a messed up scene though. I mean, it's
It is,
great,
man.
but it's messed up.
Yeah.
Plus,
And
that thing just looks so awesome too.
It
that
does,
little
doesn't
thing.
oh yeah, the sound is like ugh, creepy,
Oh,
and it's like
dude.
teeth are like silver, like it's like weird, like they look like metal, like. And then they parody that in Spaceballs.
They did.
so good. Hello, my baby.
Hello,
Hello.
darling. Hello,
Yeah.
my
Top
clan.
hat.
Like the WB frog or whatever.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Funny.
Has anybody ever recreated that scene after Taco Bell?
After some
What
nachos,
what
Bell.
plays
It
the
might happen
alien?
tonight.
Yeah, it probably happened tonight.
Yep.
Much
The
like-
alien is played by the ground beef from the Gordita, Three Gorditas.
Oh,
eh?
jeez.
Damn.
Fucking throw
That's
up.
definitely not CG.
Oh.
Oh shit!
Number 2 for me is already been said by George. It's the blood volcano from
Yes.
Nightmare on Elm Street #1.
Great
Johnny
scene,
Depp.
dude. I love that.
good.
scene.
Johnny Depp's.
Yeah.
He's one of his first best moments he's ever had on film is Blood Volcano.
Blood volcano.
That's what it's
What's
called.
his name? Well, his name was Glenn.
Glenn.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Because she was trying to call him because he wasn't supposed to go to sleep, and sure enough, he was listening to tunes and went
Ugh.
to sleep.
And he fell
Damn
asleep.
you, Glenn! Damn you, Glenn! Yeah, Blood Volcano, baby. Anybody have anything to add to that? Blood Volcano.
It's excellent.
It's a
I
good
mean,
That's
scene.
a good name for a band.
Yeah.
Blood
oh,
volcano.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I like that.
Or a wrestler like Johnny the Blood Volcano Depp.
Was that a demon that just drove by?
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
Yeah.
We got
That was,
crickets. We got demons.
Werewolf or something.
Might have been Freddy.
Hey, don't be saying that, Ted.
All right. Well, let's go on to Brad for number 2.
So I want to see if anyone can guess this. This is a film that I actually have not seen, but I absolutely love this death scene. It's a 1986 horror film. Here's the synopsis. A teenage whiz kid puts his robot's brain in the head of a nearly dead girl.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
Deadly Friend, directed by Wes Craven.
No, I don't
Never
know
heard
that
of
one.
I don't remember this one at
Yeah.
all.
What?
Never saw
So
it.
the death scene, I know you've seen it.
No.
Christy Swanson throws a basketball
Yes.
into the head of
Yes.
Anne Ramsey.
Yes.
And
Wait,
dude,
what?
her head explodes on the wall.
Dude.
Have you seen this clip?
No.
Look it up on YouTube. It's called Deadly Friend. Just type in Deadly Friend basketball.
Awesome.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
It's
I'll look it up.
the what is it? Mom Fratelli or Throw Mama from the Train?
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Anne Ramsey. I think I've heard
Dude,
about
it
this
is
movie, but I never
awesome,
saw it.
dude.
Hmm.
So originally Wes Craven directed this movie. It was supposed to be PG rated. It was like a supernatural science fiction thriller, and they screened it for like horror movie fans who knew Wes Craven. They're like, this movie's terrible. There's no horror movie elements. So they had to go back and like rewrite and reshoot like 6 different death scenes.
Wow.
And
This one scene.
This is amazing.
Awesome, dude.
I'm watching it right now.
Oh, you gotta, dude.
She's opening the
I guess
door.
there was an uncut version that I think Warner Brothers released on DVD in maybe like 2009. But like, I don't know how. It's a Wes Craven film. I don't know how I've never seen this.
Yeah.
But
Same
Me
here,
too,
dude.
I haven't.
I didn't know until I was doing my research.
She's closing
and I
the
saw this, and
door.
I just about pissed my pants.
She's got the shotgun in her hand. She's seeing the basketball. I've never
Christy,
seen
I
this
want-
before, by the way.
Christy Swanson
yeah.
said that she probably threw the basketball over 100 times
She picked
during
up
the
the
reshoot
basketball.
filming of Elvira's death.
Oh, she just came
I
up.
remember the cover box for this one, but I've never seen it either.
Yeah, it's like her in a window.
Yeah.
You've seen the scene though, right?
No, I've never seen the.
Oh, here we
I'll
go.
watch it later.
She picked up the basketball. She chucked. Oh shit! Her head just like exploded against the wall. I've never
you
seen
gotta
this
see
movie.
it, Billy.
Oh my god, the body's walking away. What the fuck?
Dude, it's insane. It's
Anne
an
Ramsey's
insane
body's
death
like
scene.
falling all over the couch.
Oh my god, it sounds awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
Number
never seen that
2,
movie.
the basketball death scene.
Yeah.
Deadly Friend.
I had no idea
Nice,
this.
nice.
I'd never heard about this movie until I
All right.
started doing
It's
research.
going to have to be a must watch for all of our listeners and me too. I'm going to have
Yes.
to check it out.
Yeah.
All right. Ted, what you got for number 2?
My number 2 came out in 1973, directed by William Friedkin. It's the last scene of The Exorcist, where Father Karras is able to get the possession to transfer from Reagan's body into his body, and then he jumps out the window to kill himself.
Yeah.
I love the scene. Have you guys seen this scene recently?
I've never heard of the movie.
Yes. Yeah, I saw the movie recently.
Yes.
It's a great scene. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the sound design. Basically, Father Karras comes into the room and
Yeah.
he sees that the Max von Sydow character is dead. Like
Yeah.
Reagan has killed that, the other priest, and then she starts laughing, and that's what prompts Father Karras to basically just beat the crap out of this. It's very shocking to watch this little girl, right? Until
Yeah.
there's and Linda Blair acts it so well too. She's like grabbing and ripping at Father Karras, who's played by Jason Miller, who I love that actor too.
Yeah.
And then his eyes change, and you see like different like
The
images.
sound, like you said, the sound effects
Face or
are
something?
gnarly.
Yeah, you see a face before he jumps out the window.
It's Max von Sydow's face, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
briefly,
It's like
like-
a one frame
Is it?
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep. In the window.
Yeah.
and he jumps out and he
Oh,
falls
man, I
down
never
that
saw that.
steep stairs. Go back and watch that.
I gotta
It's
rewatch
pretty-
that.
Yeah, pretty amazing scene. But the sound design is so great.
It's like weird, slow down. Like
Yeah,
when it's like the possession's going from
Yep.
her to him,
Mhm.
like, and you see his skin turn like pasty blue.
yeah, and then
like,
her voice transfers back to like the little
girl
Yeah,
just
that's
screaming, crying.
crazy,
Like
yeah.
you feel bad for her, like she's traumatized, like horribly.
Well, dude, Linda Blair actually had to go into like therapy after that movie.
Oh,
I can't
yeah,
imagine
believe it.
that.
Hey, why?
How
Yeah.
old was she? I mean, she must have been
11?
like that's
Something like
brutal. Even though it's
I
a
don't even
movie.
know if she was a teenager at that point.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think
I
she
don't
was.
think she was. I think she was like 10 or 11.
But that's pretty
Yeah.
brutal to go through. Like
Yeah, that movie
that
still gives me
movie.
the EBGBs. I mean,
Oh,
it's
for sure.
bone chilling
Yeah.
and just scary.
When he,
but-
and when he's going down the stairs, it's pretty hardcore. All the hits he takes going
He
down the
flips
stairs.
like
too.
multiple
Yeah.
times, and those are like brick or concrete stairs. Like
yeah,
there's no
yeah,
give.
sure.
super steep
Yeah.
steps.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
so many times when like I'm in public and I see like steep steps. I'm like, oh god, exorcist steps.
Yep.
Hold on to the railing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
So
Yeah, that's a good flick.
no, my number 2 is Exorcist.
Nice. Brett, 2.
All right, my number 2. I'm actually a little surprised it hasn't been mentioned yet. It's
too.
the nanny's birthday party hanging death scene
Oh,
in
The Omen.
The Omen.
Oofa.
It's all for you.
That's a good
Oh my
Damien.
God.
Damien?
Yeah, that scene is pretty. That movie is full of great death
It is.
scenes.
There's a
That-
decapitation scene in
Excellent.
that by glass, like a
Excellent.
sheet of glass.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
David Warner.
Yeah.
But that scene, it's just, it's one of those scenes that's kind of horrific when you the first time you watch it, because like
Yeah.
all these kids are at the
It's like
birthday
a kids'
party.
party, right?
It's a
Yeah.
total kids party, and there's all these parents and everything having fun,
Yeah.
and then the nanny like is out on the like way up on the building, and she's like calls out, like screams out like, "It's all for you, Damien!" Like in front of everyone, just hangs herself.
I'm gonna go back and watch this movie like as soon as
I-
possible.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
I am
Tons
not.
of great death scenes. The
That
priest,
movie's
the
haunting,
priest,
dude.
the priest
Oof.
scene with you screaming up,
Oh,
and
the
then
rod.
Yeah, the steeple.
the steeple flies down, like impales him on the ground. Like
That's
it's
another
so
one,
awesome.
dude. Oh my
that
God.
70s horror.
Yes.
There's so many things that went right for this film. Like you got an A-list star in Gregory Peck.
Yeah.
You had Richard Donner. You had a great score. Like it's just such a great film,
Goldberg.
horror movie or
Yeah.
not.
Yep.
And you had a creepy kid.
Oh, that
Yeah.
kid
Yeah.
is
Creepy.
Oh man.
It writes that line of like drama horror to me, like those like 70s films.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, they cast that kid like perfect, dude.
Man, that nanny ruined it looked like a good party.
Yeah, it was all fun and
Totally.
games until she
Yeah,
hung
they paid a
herself.
lot of money.
That party wasn't cheap.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yes. No, that's a great scene. Yeah, I watched that movie about a couple years ago, and it's still
Awesome.
so good.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? Let me say this. Do you remember the scene? I think it's the mother. There's a great in-camera trick where she's falling off the balcony
Oh, yeah.
backwards.
Yep.
And it's like a zoom in or
Is it when
zoom out
she's trying
scene where
to get the
fall-
plant, like
Oh,
the
dude,
hanging plant scene?
that's a great death scene.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's like standing on a step ladder, like
Did she
Yeah.
die? She dies,
She
right?
dies.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah.
God, I gotta
Wow,
rewatch
wow.
this movie.
that's
It's
how he
been
kills
forever.
her.
Hey, it's a good season to watch horror movies.
Oh yeah.
And the sequel.
Yeah. Oh,
Whoa.
jeez. Season to buy toilet paper.
I think I just heard a death scene.
That's a horror.
the sequels. The sequels to The Omen have great deaths too. Like Damien, The Omen 2.
Yeah.
Great death. Like the sequels to the Omen 2 and 3, great death scenes. I think the deaths actually may even top the first one. Like
Wow.
there's some really gnarly deaths in the second and third one.
Hmm.
Where you're just like, oh shit, like what the fuck just happened? There's a scene, well, should I say it? I don't know.
Yeah, go for
There's
it.
a scene where a lady gets her, like, she's getting attacked by like a crow, and it's like pecking her eyeballs out. So she's blind by, like, she's like totally blind. She lost her eyes, and she's like full covered in blood, like she can't see.
God.
So she's like on the ground. She starts crawling towards this like highway road in the middle of nowhere. And then sure enough, there's a big rig like going like 100 miles an hour. And then she
Was
just
it I-95?
she like gets up and stands right in front of the big rig, not knowing that it's right there, and it just nails her, and like her body goes flying, and then like it goes underneath the big rig, and the big rig like just like runs out, like tramples her body, like it's like
Wow.
Oh,
it's
man.
gnarly.
I don't remember that one.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
It's like-
After the first movie, it was pretty disturbing. I didn't want to watch the sequels. I was like, I'm good.
Oh, damn!
Dude, that one had some hang time.
Right?
Oh, two.
That was for you, Damien.
That was for you. What was for what was for dinner? What was for lunch?
Nothing's for dinner
He
yet.
said two tater tots.
That's what,
Deviled ham.
that was that got caused
Devil
by
inside.
tater tots. Shit.
Damn. All right,
Those are some
Mr.
powerful
George,
tater
number
tots.
2. Don't take it, number 2.
Here I go. All right, my number 2 is pretty awesome scene. I think it's from Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan, and it is
Yeah,
the
I know.
Jason boxing scene.
Yeah.
So Julius, I guess he's an Olympic boxer or whatever, is boxing Jason on the roof. Yeah, they go at it for about a good 10 minutes, dude.
Great,
And Jason
it's
isn't even
great.
flinching. The dude's just punching him.
I don't remember this.
Uppercut,
Me too.
left hook, body shot,
He's
body
tiring that
shot.
dude out.
And then the dude is like, at the end, he's like just wailing his punches, not even hitting Jason. And then the dude finally goes, you know what? Take your best shot, motherfucker. And Jason just knocks his head off, and it bounces, it like ricochets off the wall into the dumpster, and the dumpster shuts.
Oh, I don't
Right.
think I've ever seen that one. I don't
It's
remember this.
so
I have not seen
it's
that movie.
so good, dude.
This
He
was
lets
which
that
one?
dude just body blow him, and then he's like, boop, one hit.
One hit
Takes
is
Manhattan? Is that-
Yeah, Part 8, Jason Takes
I don't think I
Manhattan.
ever saw this one.
Dude, look at it. It is the most funniest
It's
heart.
fun.
Dude, it's awesome.
It's
I
a lot
can't
of
even
fun.
the
describe
fact
it,
that
dude.
the dumpster closes
Yeah, it
like
just-
after.
It just
He
slams
took
shut,
out
dude.
the trash.
Yeah. Dude, it's great.
Oh.
And he's got like his Olympic tracksuit, like, Adidas or whatever, and he's boxing him. And it goes on, like I said, it goes on for a good 5-10 minutes.
minutes?
And he's
Wow.
just boxing
That's
him.
amazing.
And Jason isn't even flinching. He's just sitting there taking all the shots. And
Wow.
finally, the dude's just like, all right, dude, just take your best shot. And he's like,
I gotta
good
watch
stuff.
this.
the whole
Me
movie's
too.
got like some really good death scenes. They're like really cheesy, but that one to me stood out the most. And it was,
Yeah.
I
it
don't
was
think
pretty
I've seen
awesome.
anything after. I think it was like 5, and I feel like I missed a bunch of stuff.
I think 7 might have
There's
been the
some fun
last one I
stuff.
saw.
Yeah.
It was
There's some
fun.
fun
Yeah, it's just like
Seven.
fun
I think,
movies.
to be honest with you, that was one of the like very last. Well, no, because we went and saw the remake, but before that,
Like the original
yeah,
stretch of
I,
them.
Yeah.
after that, I was done. That was it for me.
Yeah, I think 6 or 7's the last one I saw of the original ones.
Okay.
It's
I mean, you
it's
could do
one
a
of the
whole
ones.
podcast of just Friday the 13th movie
You
deaths.
could.
Oh man, I
Right.
went through so
Yeah.
many, and for this, I don't know why this one stood out to me, and like it was just hilarious.
It was an honorable for me for sure.
Yeah, I think the last time we went to the Universal Halloween night, when you're online, they show a lot of those clips from the Friday 13th movies, and they are all awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd like to go back and watch some of those.
Well, there was a
That's
bunch that I kind of
canceled.
went through, and I went through so many, and a bunch of the old ones too, like the first two Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Tons, dude, tons.
Nice.
Yeah.
But this one to me just had like a little comedic appeal
Right.
to it. It was
Yeah,
just
it's boxing
funny to me for
Jason
some
on a
reason.
rooftop.
And then the dumpster shutting at the end.
Yeah.
It was just like the icing
Hilarious.
on the cake.
Yeah.
And you're a boxing fan.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah, boxing scene in a Jason movie is just kind of funny in its own right.
Yeah,
It is.
It was great.
Yep.
That's my number 2.
Nice. Well, number 1 for me is probably from my most favorite horror movie of all time, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a twofer. It's the hammer and hook scene.
Oh my god, dude.
Where the couple are going into the house for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the guy gets hit over the head with a hammer, and he's flailing on the ground. And then the girl goes in, and she gets just the sliding door, sound,
Great,
and then she gets
great.
put up on the hook. And his confusion as he's going around trying to see what's going on, like that whole sequence of a scene. Like as a child, that movie feels so realistic.
It does.
Like it's still
Yeah.
so scary
Dude,
and so real. It's a
very-
great scene. Like.
Very disturbing, man. Yeah, totally.
It's like a documentary.
And like, if there's one room I'd never want to go in my life, it's that damn chicken
Yes, exactly.
bone room and
Chicken
the
coop room.
feathers and
Oh
everything.
my-
It's so
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, dude. I'd rather get set on fire, dude. And that's one of the worst ways I'd ever think of dying is to get set on fire. I'd rather get set on fire than go to that damn room, dude.
Oh yeah.
swear
And
to
like
God.
she almost makes it out of the house, but he grabs her in that last
Oh.
moment.
And then he shuts the door like really hard. It's like, oh,
Yeah, like he's violent. Like
dude, that movie
Violent.
really scared me as a kid, man. I swear to
Oh,
God,
yeah,
I had
definitely.
like at least
I thought I was
2
watching a documentary the first time I saw it.
my older brother was, we had the
raw,
TV in his room,
gritty?
so we were watching it, and oh my God, dude, that was
Like, I felt-
Nightmares.
I
Yeah.
felt that was one of those movies when I saw it. I think I was probably 10 or something. I knew when I was watching it, I was like, I shouldn't be watching this,
Yes.
but I'm gonna watch
That's
it.
exactly
But
how
I'm
I
gonna
felt.
watch it regardless.
Yeah, I was watching it with like my covers like
Oh,
close
yeah.
to me, so I could just go like this. But I
Me
would,
too.
I
Yeah.
was like an asshole. I'd watch like I couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, what's so crazy about that scene is it's not bloody at all. I don't even know if you see a drop of blood. Your mind kind of fills in the like when
Yes.
she's hung on that hook, you don't see blood.
It's like the sound
just
effect.
like-
Yeah.
it's how gruesome your mind makes it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, just knowing who's doing the killing too, like that part just fucks you
Oh.
up because he's like this big ass redneck dude with a chainsaw and like somebody's
Dude.
face on his face. Like, come on,
Yeah,
man. It
somebody's
doesn't get scarier
face
than that.
on his face.
You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was another scene in this movie I wanted maybe to include in the list, but I'll it's one of my honorables. I mean, it's
Okay.
there's so many good ones in that one. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just a classic fucking movie, man. It's great.
It is. Stop remaking it, please.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
please stop.
Jeez.
Please stop
Yeah.
Are
killing
they
it.
doing another remake? Probably.
I think they are.
I think they are.
They
too.
are. It's shooting now.
Oh,
Ugh,
Terrible.
just let it.
Let
Let
somebody
it
just
alone.
shoot
Leave it alone.
Awful. All right, Mr. Brad, what you got for number 1?
Here's the thing. I really wish someone would have said this by now, but it's from the 1982 John Carpenter film, The Thing. It is, the Norris heart attack scene.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Let me go a little more in depth
Go.
because there's so much going on in this scene.
Jesus.
Norris starts having heart palpitations problems. The doctor puts him down. He hits him with the defibrillator once, hits him again. His chest opens up into these weird teeth,
Yep.
cuts off, eats off the doctor's hands. So you got one death there with the doctor who's like, "Ugh," with bloody stumps. Then this thing comes out of Norris, goes up to the top. They shoot that. R.J. McCready, Kurt Russell shoots it with the flamethrower. Then his head comes off of the table and
Detaches.
sprouts legs into a spider. Like, it's just like the most crazy, insane death scene. And then they,
The-
McCready blasts him with the flamethrower. But
The
I was
way the
watching
head,
videos-
the way the head
is it?
detaches,
It's
it
gnarly. dude.
it's like starts like
Dude, it's like-
falling
it's
and
like-
like tearing
it's like-
off. Like it's
like
being pulled off
tearing with that like green weird
tendons
Like, I
or.
think- yeah, I
Ripping
think,
and the tearing.
ripping.
Ooh,
I think
jeez.
I think Rob Bottin used like bubble gum and some of that in the tubes.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
John Carpenter's whole thing, like I'm paraphrasing here, but like he grew up on sci-fi movies, so his whole thing was like, look, I grew up with a man in a suit, and he's like, as terrific a film Alien was, you get to the end, it's a man in a suit. Like, I don't want to see that in this movie. So
Yeah.
he got Bottin to do. I mean, I feel like you still haven't seen stuff like that ever since.
No.
Like, he's done other stuff in movies, but it's just such a cool, jaw-dropping death scene.
Big time.
Yeah, and then like you said, when it turns into like that spider and then kind of crawls away on the floor.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
like, "You gotta
like-
be fucking
yeah.
kidding!"
It's gross. Like you hear the little
Kurt
tapping
Russell's
noise
great.
the legs are making on the floor. Like
Yeah.
Like even
Yeah,
little
it's like a
stuff
little
like
tap.
that is just
They
it
look
makes
like-
your
they
blood
look
curdle.
like,
yeah.
Like,
They look like king crab legs or something.
yeah, it's gross. It's just
can I get
disturbing.
some lemon butter with that?
Oh shit.
Yeah, but it's like, what planet did this thing go to that it
Yeah.
replicated what it had seen before?
Yeah, I
It's
never
gnarly,
even thought of
dude.
that like that. But yeah,
Yeah, it's my number one.
I still haven't
thing.
watched the prequel like from the 2000s.
You know what? You know what's
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
is like an effects house did
Wow.
practical effects for that, which you can see online, and they're pretty awesome.
And then they changed their
And
mind, right?
They went over it.
CG?
Universal went over and CG'd all that stuff, which is a
Fucking
shame.
idiots, dude.
Stupid.
Release
stupid.
the-
Because like to
Release
me,
the
that
cut, bro.
idea of like the Norwegian camp is a really cool idea, like where Kurt
is.
Russell went
Yeah.
to see where that dog came from.
I remember
But-
watching that movie. And I think I've only watched it once.
prequel
When,
or
yeah, when
whatever.
it came
Or
out.
not
I gotta
prequel, I don't know
rewatch
what
it,
you
man.
call it, but-
Yeah, it would be. It would
Or
be
spin-off?
Yeah, it would
It's
be
a
a prequel
spin-off.
because
Yeah.
it happens
It's
before.
a prequel.
Yeah, it happens
okay.
before.
It's before they get there.
Yeah, because that's where
Yeah,
the dog
because
ends up
it-
taking off.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I don't want spoiler alert, whatever. It's been out a while. Like it ends. If you like, once it ends, keep watching because the post credits, you see the guy in the helicopter, the pilot, and they're shooting at that
At the dog,
that's running.
which
That's
is the
running to
opening
Outpost
for-
31.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I need to watch
I
it.
gotta
just-
rewatch it too,
Yeah.
man. I've only watched it that one time.
It's Halloween.
Just watch the John Carpenter version again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Don't forget the porn one either. All right, Ted, what you got for number one?
My number one is Psycho. It's been mentioned already.
Wow.
Yep. That opening scene. Love it. Don't have too much to add. Just iconic.
It is,
amazing
man.
direction, music.
Great scene.
It's very cool. It's my number
All
one.
right, wow, that's a popular choice today. How about you, Brett? Number one.
My number one's already been mentioned at least once. I think by George. It was the
Oh, shit.
alien
Chestburster.
chestburster scene
Yep.
in Alien.
Nice.
Good stuff.
That to me is an iconic death scene.
Yeah, that's
Scary.
pretty classic.
Yep.
What about you, George? What's your number one?
Well, mine isn't a repeat. It's my
Oh,
favorite
come on.
Halloween movie of all time. 1978 Halloween. It's
Nice.
the scene where
Which
Michael
one?
Myers
Curious.
lifts Bob up
Oh,
off the
yes.
ground and tacks him to the wall.
Oh,
and just
great
stares at
scene.
him and kind of slightly turns his head. That
He tilts
was-
his head.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah.
That's when you knew that dude was like not
He's off.
normal. He
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
off a little bit. You're like, holy shit!
A lot of it.
And as a kid, you watch that scene, you're like, how is this dude so strong that he's able to pick this dude up with one
Lift
hand
him.
and then just tack him to the wall? Like
Yeah, with a
Unreal.
knife.
And then that quizzical look he gives him, kind of that little tilt, and you're just like, oh,
It's like he's
shit.
admiring
Mental
his work.
patient.
Yes, man. That like, look at, I'm even talking about it right now, and I swear to God, I'm getting chills up down. Look at that. I'm getting chills.
He's like watching
That's
he's looking at the, it's
Look at
like
this,
his,
look at
his
that.
own,
Wow.
yeah,
That's
it's
scary.
Straight up getting chills, dude, just
Yeah.
thinking about that scene. That scene was
I got
awesome, dude.
chills.
As a kid watching that movie, you just like, holy crap, man.
It's one of the, I think it's the first horror movie I ever saw as a little kid. I
It's
was
one.
little.
It has to be one of the first ones that I watched as well.
That and The Shining, I was
Yeah,
and The
shit
Exorcist.
same
scares
here.
the shit out
And
of me.
Fuck, dude, I was scared shitless, dude.
I-
But I watched it. I wanted to watch it again and again.
Like you said with Texas Chainsaw, I know the first time I saw it, I think my dad and my grandpa were in the room. It was on TV, and I remember like I didn't want to watch it, and I was kind of looking away, but then I kept watching
Yeah,
it.
you,
like,
you can't stop.
like
watching.
I was like, I knew I was gonna have nightmares, but I still wanted to
Yeah.
watch it.
and because of that, ever since then, I watched this movie like every year. I have to watch it on
Yeah,
Halloween.
it's my one Halloween
And-
movie
Yeah.
I always have to watch every
good.
year.
and I look forward to this scene every time. It's awesome.
I almost put this scene in my top 5, but it just missed the cut.
And I remember Brad was mentioning earlier how you take somebody. I remember taking Amy for the first time to watch this movie at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
And she had never
Nice.
seen it before, and holy shit, dude, it was just the look on her face. It was priceless.
yeah. Real quick, is that the? I feel like he does the head tilt in another scene in that movie, but is that the only time he does it in the
Yeah,
first
that's
one?
the only time he does it.
So in the second one, I
I
think,
think it's the only time.
okay.
I don't. Does he do in this? I don't think
feel
he
like
does it in the
he never
second.
does it
I don't
again?
think so. I
It's
think it's
just
the
that
only time
once?
he does it. He kind of like admires his handiwork.
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
It's so creepy. Like,
Oh my god.
because he's like in the shadows, like in the dark, but you see his head like
Yeah,
keep going
you're
back like
yeah.
this. Like, whoa.
Wow.
You know what I think's cool too is like it sets the tone of Michael Myers' strength on that he could just lift
Yes.
a dude and just like you said
Yeah.
attack him to the
He's
wall.
like
Totally, man.
superhuman.
There's two scenes in the movie. This scene and there's another, which I think it's after. It's when he's chasing Laurie. At the end, there's this scene though, and then at the end when he's chasing her, and she has the door closed, like in the pantry room or whatever, the laundry room, and he's like pounding on it, and then those doors, I know what they're like. Like I have a wood garage door, like to the garage. They're thick.
They're solid
Those
wood.
old doors were solid
Yeah.
wood. They're not like the doors nowadays.
Yeah, they're hollow.
And you hear him punching, and you just see his fist like smash through their wood and like splinter it, and then he like
Shit.
opens the door. Like you're like, oh, like what the hell? This like
Yeah, close it-
supernatural power
Yeah,
is like,
as a kid, you're like closing the door ain't gonna stop this guy. I'm just gonna shit my pants right now.
yeah. But both
All
of
right.
these-
Well, I think that we killed it.
Totally, bro.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah.
We got honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions, movies that were mentioned, the Psycho scene, that was a classic one. The Alien
Always.
one, that's a classic. Jaws opening, that's classic. Some that weren't mentioned, I love that first Saw where the girl has the contraption on her
Yes.
head.
Oh,
bear
my
trap?
God. That was
Key
fucking
out.
disturbing, dude.
Is it the
yeah.
bear
Very
trap?
suspenseful.
Yeah.
The Texas Chainsaw scene, the scene I was going to talk about was the one where he kills the brother in the wheelchair.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a pretty good scene. It's just like out of nowhere they're trying to get through the woods, and why are they trying to get through all this thicket? I have no clue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
the
a
dude's in a wheelchair. Like, come on.
There's a lot of like great kills in From Dusk Till Dawn. Somebody
Oh,
mentioned
my
that earlier.
God.
I don't even know how you would count which one would be the best one.
True.
There's
Oh,
also
I know, hold on, I know the best one.
okay.
Remember when they're on stage and they're playing the people's body parts like a
Oh,
guitar?
yeah. And they just explode or something. They're like, we're out of here.
That's
I
a
don't
great
know.
movie, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good kills in Maximum Overdrive. If you hadn't seen that one
I
in a
haven't seen
while,
that one in a long
yeah.
time.
Emilio
The
Estevez.
there's a vending machine that shoots Coke bottles at a dude and kills him. A kid gets run over by a steamroller. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Damn.
I love The Hitcher, and there's that scene where Jennifer Jason Lee's
Oh,
tied up
fuck,
Yeah.
to
dude.
the two, and like he has that scene in the truck with C. Thomas
Yeah.
Howell. It's
Yeah.
so suspenseful.
It is,
It's a
man.
good scene.
I was thinking about
Great
that one.
movie.
And then a movie that like I don't even know if it's a horror movie. Do you ever see Faces of Death?
Yeah.
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 Like there's so many. That's all just stock news footage, but there's so many just like really shitty, funny death scenes in
Yeah.
that movie that are
That
great.
monkey.
I feel like a lot of that stuff
I remember that
is fake
scene.
too.
It is.
I
I think,
think that-
only one of them was real. I think it's the third or fourth one. The rest were all fake, like staged.
Yeah.
The
Mon-
one that I don't even know, maybe it was fake, was the one where the guy skydived into like an alligator farm.
Yeah, that was fake. Yeah, I remember
No,
that.
that
one.
was real.
No,
No, it
was
wasn't.
Remember
Oh
the
my-
dude? Remember the dude that was bungee jumping from like the 14th floor, but he didn't have enough rope because he forgot that they don't include the 13th floor or something, and he just hit the ground and died.
There's no 13th floor.
And like they would show like executions from other countries where people will like tie their legs to horses and hit them, and they would both run off, and you just
Oh,
see, like,
yeah.
Quarter-
be like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was some there was some like firing squad executions too. Were those
There's
fake?
there's a guillotine or like a
Yeah.
head getting cut off. As far as I know, there's only one Faces of Death that had real deaths, and it's like the third or fourth. The rest are all
Oh, really?
fake, like staged.
Oh.
Stage. Billy, you remember we used to go to midnight showings of these?
yeah. Remember
What?
they filmed a guy getting electrocuted.
Damn, dude. I don't.
What a shocker.
Oh, I remember that.
Wah, wah.
The prison scene or whatever.
Yeah, it was like some creepy doctor who was the host.
Yeah. Yep.
Terrible.
I remember
Yeah.
renting those on VHS, like from the supermarket, like back in
Yeah.
like the
And it
early
said like
'90s.
banned in 40 countries, and you're
Yeah.
like, I want to watch
Yeah,
it
you're
even
like,
more.
we gotta
I
see
want to
this.
watch it even
I
more.
remember my friend was like, "We gotta rent this."
All right, Brad. I know he's got a long list. Here we
Here we
go.
There's a movie called Cube, which
Yes.
this
Jesus.
dude gets like sliced all to the bits.
The deaths in all those movies are great.
Yeah, they are.
Cube
They're,
is a great
they're
movie.
pretty fun. Jason X, when he went to space, there's a scene when he grabs this lady's face and
Yes.
hits it and freezes it.
Yeah.
And he smashes it.
into the edge of the table or
And
the
it's all like
kitchen sink
her
or
face is all like
sink.
shattered off.
And then he shoves her, and it's like her body's so limp.
Oh,
she
dude, it's like a
falls.
dummy.
Yeah.
It's just like dead weight. There's a movie called Intruder that this guy has a meat saw scene that he like saws completely across this guy's face, which is terrible. Sam Raimi's in that movie. Alien Chestburster, Ghost Ship opening. Friday the 13th, the arrow scene through the neck of Kevin Bacon.
Oh, I got that one. Yep.
It's a good one.
Friday the 13th, part 7, the sleeping bag scene where he picks
Oh,
up
I
the
love
sleeping
that
bag
one, dude.
and slams it into the tree.
Yes.
He like drags her. She's like, ah.
Yeah. Great.
Love
Phantasm 2, there's a evil mortician chasing Mike and Liz, and the ball gets him through the back. It travels all the way up through him, up through his throat, and out of his mouth, and you can like hear the gears grinding of the ball, the Phantasm ball.
I love those movies.
Final Destination 2, the opening car scene is phenomenal.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Those movies were meant for that.
logs-
The logs falling off the rig. Yeah.
Dude, it is crazy. If you haven't seen that, just watch the first 5 minutes. There's a French horror film called Inside. There's a woman named Sarah. She's on the steps. She's having problems giving birth, and a woman grabs a pair of scissors and gives a C-section,
dude.
which is
I saw
insanely
that.
bloody. If
It's
you haven't seen this film,
So hard.
Ted, I think you and I watched that once.
great slasher film. Maniac. Tom Savini is in the driver's seat, and someone jumps on the car and shoots him in the face with a shotgun.
His face just obliterates. I saw
I
that.
gotta watch
Dude,
that
it
movie
just
again.
explodes. There's a Ethan Hawke movie called Sinister. I watched this a few weeks ago again with headphones on at 3 a.m, and there's a lawnmower scene, which, dude, it's terrifying. Like I jumped.
Yeah,
like
I
it's
saw
a
that.
great jump. It's a great jump scare.
It is,
that
dude.
scene.
It is. No, it almost looks like it's like real footage.
Yeah, it's like old 8 millimeter footage or 16 millimeter footage.
Jesus.
Day of the Dead, when that dude gets pulled apart, the zombies just completely rip him apart. They kind of gave an homage in Walking Dead to that. Let the Right One In. There's a pool sequence at the end of that film, which is beautiful. It's if you haven't seen that movie, watch Let the Right One In. The Blob remake. There's a drain sequence when this dude's trying to clear the pipes of the drain, and it just sucks him down. It's pretty amazing.
It sucks him down the
I
sink.
love that remake.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Halloween 2, Michael Myers. The whole like fire death scene at the end is phenomenal when he's walking down the hallway set on fire.
Yep. Love
Creep
that movie.
Show, the cockroaches scene when that dude is like so paranoid of
good
bugs.
stuff.
He's like so OCD. Everything has to be super clean.
Oh,
and
dude, they
he's got
come
the
out of his
spray.
mouth.
Yep.
On the Creep Show train, Creep Show 2, the raft sequence when that dude gets sucked down and his class ring gets stuck in the between the wood. Great. Psycho 2, the shovel scene when he hits his mother on the head at the end of the movie with the shovel. Piranha 3D, the boat motor hair sequence. If you haven't seen that, this girl's hair gets caught in the boat motor and it rips her scalp off. And Jerry O'Connell's legs, you remember that, George? Doo-doo legs?
Yeah.
He gets eaten, they pull him out thing. He's like, my penis, did they eat my penis?
Oh, I remember that. I forgot about that.
So good.
That was fun.
The Omen, Jennings, the photographer, he is down the hill, and the glass truck rolls down the hill, decapitates him.
Yep.
It's not super bloody. It's just, dude, that was almost my number 5.
Oh.
It's just
And you
so
see that one
unexpected.
you see that one coming, but you can't do anything.
You like clinch. You're like, oh.
No,
Yeah.
that dude like gets out of the truck and he sets the parking brake and like it doesn't set, and it's like, oh.
And then you see the truck start slowly like rolling down the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you see like 45 angles of that head shooting off, which is amazing.
Yeah. Poor
There's
David
so many
Warner.
more that, yeah. There's so many more that I just can't list. But like to me, like this is such a sweet, innocent, weird death scene. Is Frankenstein and Maria the Flower Girl?
Yeah.
Dude,
It just like it's one of the first death scenes that I remember, and it's so sweet and innocent that he's just playing with the girl. He doesn't mean to kill her.
No.
Yeah, it's
But
pretty
like,
tragic
they're
too, man.
Yeah,
You're like,
they're
that
throwing
sucks.
flowers in the water, and he's out of flowers, and he just picks her up and throws her in the water. It's like
She drowns.
it's like he's this creation, and he gets lynched for being created, basically, and he doesn't mean to kill her, but
basically he's not even like it's like he's not a monster of the town. Like
no, he's not. They make him.
They made him a monster.
It's the town that is the monster.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Dr. Frankenstein. Anyway, that's my
good list, man.
honorables, and I've been wanting to do this
Nice.
pod for so long, so I'm glad we did it.
Yes,
That's
that's
cool,
so
that's
much fun,
cool.
dude.
Nice,
Great.
Ted. What you got?
I don't think I have much to add to that.
What? I know the one.
Brad took them all, dude.
And
they're all
I had
ones
the
I
thing
had
on
on my
mine.
list.
I had the opening scene of Scream, Drew Barrymore's death. What else can I add? So that let the right one in scene. If you haven't seen it, the main character is underwater. This kid, and the
Spoiler
death is actually.
We're gonna
Joke,
spoil
yeah,
it.
joke.
Spoil it, bro. Do it.
The death is happening above water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all you see is the little
It's
things of
feet
blood.
dragging
Yeah,
and
you see
like,
feet dragging,
It's
and
all these
yeah.
terrible bullies that are bullying this guy,
Yeah.
this kid.
It's
this
a great
kid.
scene.
I love that movie too. By the way, it's great.
It's a great
It's a
film,
really
and
good
the
scene.
remake was actually not that bad.
A remake was pretty good too. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Isn't it the girl from Kick-Ass?
Yeah.
She's the.
It is
What's her
Chloe-
name?
Chloe something?
Chloe
I forget her name.
Too.
Morris.
Mortadella.
Moretz.
Mortadella.
Moretz.
Yep.
Moritz.
Yep.
Something like that.
So that's my honorables.
Nice. All right, what you got, Brett?
I've got a few. Halloween 2, the hot spa death scene with the nurse,
oh yeah.
where he like drowns her in the scalding hot water, melts her face off. The Omen 2, Dr. Kane, Meshach Taylor, the elevator scene. It's pretty iconic. The elevator's like falling to the he's like on the 25th floor, and then it stops and he thinks he lives. But then what he doesn't realize is the cables are like snap and they're hurtling down at the elevator, and then it slices him in half.
Whoa.
Like you see his guts like spilling out. He's like, ugh. Pretty much any of the Final Destination deaths, like
You can't.
they're all
There's
like
so many to list.
there's so
dude.
many and they're all entertaining and
Very.
well done. A lot of them are over the top, but they're fun. Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Warriors, the cockroach death scene where he turns the girl into
Nice.
like a cockroach.
You can check in, but you can't check out.
Whoa!
Oh,
We'll see you in the end.
Zombie 2.
that's some bare ass.
Splinter. There's a scene where a girl gets a splinter in the eye scene. It's like
Oh,
really
dude.
gnarly. Like
It's
you
brutal.
see it happen. Like there's a movie called City of the Living Dead. It's from the early '80s. There's a really disturbing death where this girl starts like her eyes start filling up with blood. It looks like she's crying.
Oh yeah.
And then her guts start. She opens her mouth, and all her guts start spilling out of her mouth. It's like
What?
really.
Ooh.
What is this?
It's called City of the Living Dead. It's
I've
a
never
very.
seen this.
It's
Yeah,
a very.
I've
It's,
seen it.
it's a foreign film.
right.
I think it was
Yeah.
shot in Italy. It's
Oof.
very disturbing, but very, very. I love
Dude,
those
you know
movies.
what's crazy? Like I watched this scene for this podcast,
Uh-huh.
and it's like they almost had to put like there's no visual effects. Like they put like red blood in her eyes.
Yeah,
Wow.
and
Like it's
yeah.
crazy.
it's It's
You
a lot of those
like a
European
red- like a
horror
red
films are
food
really
coloring.
well done. Like they have some like really gnarly deaths.
Mm.
Another European horror movie with a great death scene, Suspiria, the very beginning scene where the girl's like getting like hung up with the cables. It's a great death scene. The Blob remake, the police station, Paul, where he's on the phone and the girl's in the other room, and then the Blob comes like on the ceiling, and then like she's like trying to save him and rips his
Oh,
arms off,
yes.
and you can see his like head underneath the Blob.
I think that's one of the cover arts is his face like
Yeah.
reaching through that slime.
Yeah, it's like you can see his eyes, like and he's like
Yeah.
screaming, but like
Dude,
Totally
another
covered.
cool death scene. Another cool death scene for that movie is the. Do you remember the phone booth
Yes.
scene where that dude's in the phone booth and
Yep.
just like explodes?
I was gonna put that on here and I forgot until you just mentioned it. That's a good remake though. And then
is.
the last one is Carrie. I love Carrie. The very end scene when spoiler alert,
kills-
she kills her mom. Just it's a very very like it's not too graphic. It's just a really like powerful death scene. She's using her telekinetic powers to basically like throw like any object she can to kill her mom because her mom
Knives
basically
and
already
missiles.
stabbed her and
Yeah.
is gonna kill her. So
It's a very gratifying death. I mean, not in a sick kind of way, but you were like, God damn it, this bitch finally.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Oh God, I wanted to smack her.
What
Sorry.
the funny thing is about that death, she kills her, but then when the house starts falling down, she's like trying to pull her off, like she wants to save the mom even though she already killed her. It's kind of like it's a sad scene because she's like, her mom is the only family she ever had, and like even though she
But she
just
treated
killed
her
her,
like shit.
treated her like shit. But even
Yeah.
after she kills her, she's trying to save her. Then
True.
she takes
Kinda
her body
tragic.
into the. They go in the closet while as the house just caves in.
Pretty
on it.
tragic
Wow,
in a
wow.
way. Totally.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my honorable
Solid
mentions.
list, bro.
Nice.
Yep. All right, George, round it out.
Well, pretty much everyone else has mentioned all the ones that I had on my list. A couple here that weren't on the list were Dick O'Halloran's death on The Shining when he's walking down the
Great.
hall.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
gets chopped in the
Axe,
stomach.
the hatchet.
As a kid, you're like, oh god, all right, cool, he's here, he's gonna help. Nope.
Just save
Takes
it.
one right in the stomach. And then obviously Jack Torrance's death at the end when he's frozen sitting there.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
just like watching him like completely frozen.
Like the next day
Popsicle.
cuts.
Yeah, exactly. And what's that one? Deadly Friend, Brad, I think mentioned that. That was on your top 5, right, Brad?
Yeah, it's number 2.
Number 2, so that one. And then my buddy Steven, who was also into like horror movies, he was in our movie poster podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted me to throw in 2 for him. Hereditary. I don't know if you guys have seen this horror movie.
No, it's the girl from The Sixth Sense. I haven't seen it yet.
It is,
though.
dude. He showed me these clips. It's freaking gnarly. The brother's
Was it
driving.
was it when she's banging on the top of the attic, the attic door?
No, it's the one where he's driving her home because she's like.
Oh, the head?
Oh my god, dude, that scene
Yeah.
was
There's a
brutal.
fire. I think there's a fire.
I don't know
scene,
if you,
too.
I don't want to ruin it for you guys, so I'll just cut it there.
Am I the
That's
only
it.
one who hasn't seen it?
Well, yeah,
haven't seen it.
I watched it.
Yeah.
We watched
Okay.
it at work
I've
today.
Hey,
Oh.
if you like artsy fartsy and this so-called new elevated horror, you're gonna love it. Not for
Okay.
me, but people love it.
It was pretty crazy, dude. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was gonna enjoy, but it was good.
But
It
it's
was
still
okay.
decent.
It was alright. Yeah.
I intend to watch
And then
it.
Suspiria, the remake. Have you guys seen that one?
Wait, which one?
Suspiria?
Yes, Suspiria. The
They
remake.
remade it?
I haven't seen.
I didn't know they
I haven't
remade
seen
it.
Make.
All right, well, then nothing. That's it. That's my list.
I didn't know they remade it.
No, you can say it. It's okay. You can say it.
Well, I don't want to ruin it.
I've seen the original, so
Okay,
it won't
well,
ruin it,
it's
right?
a little different. There's a
Okay.
scene where one of the witches is dancing, and then it's affecting the other witch in the other room, so she's like contorting into these fucking. It's gnarly, dude.
I've seen. Yeah,
I didn't know
her
they
teeth
remade
all,
that
like,
movie.
messed up.
Yeah,
Oh my
like
God.
her jaw
I've seen that.
breaks, her ankle breaks, her arm breaks.
Yeah.
It's
Shit.
dude, it is very, very graphic, and it looks like it's all done practically. There's no CG in it, so it's really fucking good.
I love the original, so I want to watch this.
Yeah,
I had
haven't
no
seen-
idea they
I haven't
remade
seen
it.
that remake, but I want to watch just because of this one scene.
Gotcha.
Well, this podcast was free of any CG or any special effects.
Yeah.
So
All practical, baby.
All practical.
that's
baby.
right. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for listening. And now a word from Chop Top.
Hey, Radio Land, it's Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Thanks for listening to the 5 Dudes with Views podcast. They're my faves. EXIT exit, and good night.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to the 5 Dudes of Views podcast. Be sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Libsyn, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, and now YouTube. And while you're on there, be sure to download, rate, and subscribe. You can also check us out on Instagram and Twitter at 5 Dudes Views. And we also are on Facebook. Everybody out there, stay safe. Until next time.